There we go. Let's do this. Do this. Okay. Let's get. Hey, there's Limey. How are you, buddy? I did it. Cheers. How is Limey doing? I am eating ice cream again. I've been very, very busy. Okay, how's about you? I am doing wonderful. Very, very busy. I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor. Doctor says I shouldn't eat it. I'm eating it. The Prince of Darkness. Hey, buddy.
What's happening?
Living the dream.
Yeah.
Yep.
Living the dream. Living the dream eating pudding? Or what's for dessert there?
Ice cream.
Oh, okay.
It's 30 degrees out, and I'm eating ice cream.
That makes sense.
Right. Thank you, Limey. I'm working on it. Hey, that's not very nice.
No. Maybe it's a term of endearment. He's accepting us into his group.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like fellow nerds. You know. So what's on your mind, man? You got to talk on these, you know.
It's what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
It's from a place of love. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you love me. I don't know. I don't really have anything to talk about. Like,
what the hell are you so busy doing today?
Oh, where should I get started?
Well, that's a good place. Start at the start, I guess.
Well, I woke up, and I had planned on getting up at 8 and getting some stuff done in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, 38 POS. I got up at 8, rolled over, looked at the clock, and said, nope. And I turned my alarm off and fell asleep till like 11.
Oh, okay.
Because I took the day off from my doctor's appointment later on in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I could get something done. Well, I screwed that up from the majority of the day. Anyway, I woke up pretty much an hour worth of getting ready and getting breakfast and stuff. I go out. I got to move a van that I bought to sell it, which the guy didn't even show up tonight, so it was all of a waste of time. But
he usually is, yeah.
I got a lot of the. Is this available? But anyway, that's another story too.
Mm-hmm.
I get it moved. So at our property, there's like a road that goes down past our garage into like our wooded area. It's downhill. It's a fairly steep slope, but it's not like crazy. Like anything that has tires on it will move it, unless it's been wrecked.
Okay.
So I got a rear-wheel drive van with a V8.
Oh, sorry.
Don't die. Hey, if you're dying, I mean, I gotta call the ambulance.
Yeah.
Ken says turn your mic down, I guess.
Yeah, I did a little bit. Yeah,
okay.
So.
Anyway, I start to back it up. I move an inch, and it just starts spinning. Now we're talking gravel, like normal gravel driveway, spinning on gravel. you know, I've heard wet grass, stuff like that. That makes sense. A
Yeah,
gravel.
it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
So I get in the Bobcat. I get it moved up further enough to where it'll back up. I get that. Perfect. No big deal. I go to turn it around, and it just slides all the way into our scrap pile up by the garage, downhill into it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stuck again. 30 seconds later. That was a bigger mess because I had to basically move 3 vehicles to move the van that was stuck because I couldn't get the Bobcat around everything to pull it out.
Oh, okay. What kind of van is this?
It's like a cargo, like a express van, like Chevy Express,
Oh, okay.
but it's been wrecked. So like the rear end is like all cattywampus, and so
Oh,
like,
so it's handicapped to start with.
yeah,
What does he just want it for the 6-liter and the 4L80 or what?
it's got a 4.8 and a
Mhm.
6L90.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's Gen
That's
4.
it's a weird combo, but okay. Yeah.
What's that?
It's a weird combo, but okay.
Hey, 4.8.
With a 6-speed, that'd be cool,
It's a Gen 4 4.8 flex fuel injectors.
Okay, so decap them in their 80.
For someone, yeah, absolutely. That's what on my ad I put. Perfect for the Turbo LS,
Mm-hmm.
but the transmission is in it ships really nice.
So that'd make a nice little street car,
Right. But I don't have anything to put it in.
Mm-hmm. Well, strip it and put the motor and trans in the corner.
The problem is I paid too much for it.
Oh.
Well, I say too much. I mean too much to keep it to do that for my life. I paid $1,600 for it.
Oh, okay.
It's worth more than that, but I got to part it out.
Right. Well, I mean, shit. Get a little S10, use the rear end and everything, and just get some reverse offset tires on it and that big rear end, and it'd be good.
Shoot, Limey.
Put some 3.0 gears in it with that 6-speed, and you do like 200 miles an hour.
Right. Mm-hmm. I like the 6-speed idea, but here's the problem. I don't know.
It's not a drag race setup, but it's a hell of a street car or freeway runner.
And I have I don't. If I'm going to build another car for myself, I want to build a drag and drive specific.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to be crazy, but I want it to last.
Okay.
Maybe 400, 500 horse, which that transmission would probably hold that. But
oh yeah, and like I said, that'd be great because if you got to drive an hour and a half between places, you just that thing will just cruise. Yeah. Take it, run at 12. Take it to the next place and just get the whole week done. Yeah.
The problem is the financial standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have the money to do that. You heard of putting a Corvette servo in the trans to help extend the life of it? Sure. I've not heard of that. It's probably possible.
Could you? I mean, is a van where you could stretch it back out and make it straight again and use the van for a drag and drive?
Okay, so if I can't sell it, we have an idea for a burnout vehicle.
Okay.
But I'm hoping I can sell it because I want the money to put towards the Lacuna.
Okay.
But it will roast tires, I think.
Oh, sure it will. Yeah, there's no weight in the back.
Right. And I plan on, if we're doing it, I'm going to cut it to make it look like an El Camino.
Oh, okay.
So, and what did I call it? El Veneno or something like that.
Okay. El Veneno. Yeah.
I'm not even sure what it means, but I figured that's what it would be called.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And then you could get the whole get up with the American flag, jean jacket, and the blonde.
The blonde mullet tail.
Yep. Get the whole kit and caboodle, and then you got a whole character there,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
But again, that's if I can't sell it. Ken, what else you up in here?
I don't know what Ken's doing.
I posted the link, I think.
Yeah, you did. That's how I got here.
Can I pin that? How do I do that?
You hit the little star.
And that pins it in the...
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, I don't know if... Did you... Are you live streaming yours? Uh-oh.
Do I gotta... Well,
what on earth happened?
Where'd everybody go?
Okay. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I bought the premium, so y'all should be able to do it too if you want
Oh, I
to
see. Yeah.
some hours.
yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Just heads up. I only did it for 1 month, but I'll probably end up doing a whole year once I get paid again.
Mm. There we go. It should be, I got the little check mark next to my head, so yeah, I should be on my channel too. So there you go. The 7 people that'll tune into my channel, you'll get all the watch hours for that.
So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm kind of confused on it. Like, is StreamYard, what should I call it? Teaming up with YouTube to do this?
I would think so.
Because it's awkward. It's weird that YouTube's never said this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't know. It may be something. It may be something that StreamYard's doing that YouTube can't stop.
Oh, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Because this is good for other YouTubers. Like,
yeah,
think about it. Even if we had 200,000 subs apiece and we had all the view hours in the world, imagine adding more.
Right. Oh yeah, it's all about. See what I'm doing now that this live on mine, I'll get 5 people to watch, but I have to flip on the monetization button, so I get paid for the 6 people that watch.
That'll be a nice button to have someday.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you got? What do you got?
Monetization on! Yay!
It's not on by default.
No, it's not on by default. It's off by default.
Well, they don't want to pay you.
Right? They want your stuff for free. You have to turn the button on.
When you set up your live, you have to actually click a button to.
You have to go when you set up your live and it's all done in StreamYard. You have to get out of there, close it, go to your YouTube studio, go to your content, hit live, go to the top one that's pending, and click yes for monetization.
Interesting.
Which I forgot to do last Monday too.
Oof.
There's Tavo Garage.
All the way from down under.
Yeah, you're in
really
comment. Do a good job.
Yeah. So.
Holy moly.
Yeah, I'm live on mine. So. And
what
then.
time is it there, Tavo? It's gotta be like.
I think it's Friday at 6 a.m. or something weird.
Something like that.
He can tell you yesterday's lottery tickets, but he won't.
You should.
Yeah.
I will share it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
So, Ken, what kind of game were you streaming last night? I turned it on. I see a little castle. I'm like, well, it's not Clash of Clans. What is it?
Yeah, it's called They Are Billions. It's like an RT, like a real-time strategy game. So, basically you just got zombies everywhere, and you gotta not die. And I died within the first 5-10 minutes. So
Okay.
yeah, that was my plan. I was like, because usually it takes me, because like after I got done streaming, I went back to playing the game, and I was up to like 3 a.m.
Mhm.
So I was like, I'll just stream this for like 5 hours.
Okay, then I can go to bed. Then you can go to bed at 10 instead of 3 a.m.
But like I died immediately, so I was like, okay, well let's see what else we can make happen tonight. And then it turned into a really good live. My buddy Jeff, who I've tried getting to start a YouTube channel like a bunch of times, so he keeps putting it off. He has an S10 that he's putting a Ford Godzilla in.
Okay.
And like it's really freaking cool. He has a lot of money wrapped up in it. The dude's super smart about all of this shit. All of us could stand to learn something from the guy. Well, he just randomly popped into my live, which he never does. So that was great.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about his truck and whatnot. And then William from Charger 383, a friend of Jed's, he popped in and he talked about his what is it? It's I forget what it is. Shit. Okay, I'll remember later. But yeah, he popped in and talked about his. So it turned into a really good live.
Okay.
Oh, it's a Cushman. That's what it is. He got the Cushman.
That Cushman in his intro that he's riding down the street.
He's putting a front axle in the front of it and a 440 in the back of it. And
oh, okay. So it's just going to be ridiculous.
It's going to be ridiculous. Yeah. So yeah, but no, it turned into a really good live. So.
Well, that's good.
And today I'm just getting. I'm getting my. There we go. I got my.
Oh, there you go. You went and plucked one.
I got my bench harness. So I've been dinking around with this today.
Now, do you have an HP dongle, or are you going to use like the free hammer, or what are you going to do with that?
Yeah, I'm going to use the PCM hammer and Tuner Pro, and I'm going to dick around and try that. I don't feel like spending all that money for HP tuners, so.
It's $400 once.
Yeah, but if I don't got to spend $400 at all, that's even better. So.
It's money you spend more than that on probably some questionable women. So. That is
true.
And that's why you can have the dongle for life,
Yeah, you're right. Well, I'm gonna try this out. I want
to try that PC hammer. I was just like, I didn't at the time have the patience to go to that. I'm like, I just buy the HP and I can download the tune and be done.
I don't know how you guys have the patience for stock ECU stuff.
Because it's easy, and I don't want to spend $1,500 for an ECU that I have.
Look, man, I'm not gonna put 1,000.
Some of us can get free shit from Holly for some god unknown reason.
Look,
others of us that are just Joe Schmucks gotta
look
figure out the stock ECU and harness and
that does not happen all the time. I still have to buy a lot of stuff, okay? And I'm not, Dylan. I'm not spending $1,000 on a Terminator X to put on a stupid Iron Duke, okay? Like that. That's not happening.
It doesn't make the whole budget thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this $20 computer will be just fine. Okay.
Well, I always tell people budget is like, when you say budget, what do you mean? Budget is, and you have a budget of $100 million, or a budget is you have $1,000.
Yeah. Well, your budget is how fast you want to go.
Right.
Well, like I said, this will be just fine. My $20 computer and my $70 eBay harness is all I need.
Now, Ken, do you know if all those mail trucks had a ECU like that on them, or what they're running? Do you know, or is it their own?
You know what? I would assume they're running sort of like TBI, like old. Like I would assume that's.
Oh, it's like an TBI.
Yeah, like exactly what the S10s had in them.
Okay.
I have not seen under the hood of one.
I tried searching for one, and all I get is the old Jeep postal trucks. I don't get the Grummins. Yeah.
So hopefully somebody gets one and does like an overview of it, so I can see. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
I've been looking for one because I'm like, they're going to get cheap. if I could, make a $150 manifold and put $100 turbo on it,
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
meowing at me, so she wants your attention.
Okay, hi, cat. Hi. Okay, that's enough, apparently. Yeah.
She hates being held.
Well, there's
Which will
none
be-
on my marketplace as of right now, but that doesn't mean they're not coming. So,
All right.
People claim
Let me see here real quick.
Speaking of that, let's talk about the whole "is this available" thing and why Facebook still has it on there.
Because then it's a bot.
Yeah, but wouldn't you think that a bot wouldn't click on the whole thing and message you?
I don't know. I'm not a bot.
yeah, you're asking some hard questions here, bud.
Yeah. This is for the offshore IT guys with the 16 syllables in their name. And they can explain how the Lambda does it, and it generates the wireframe.
No, now they're like, well, my name is John. Like, oh, okay.
Hello, IT support. This is John. We are coming right to you from Google.
Yeah, they got to have an American name.
Yeah. Well, how else do you get old people to send you a bunch of Apple gift cards in the mail?
Yeah. Please be giving me the key codes for all those.
Yeah.
Ken, I did. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7
Somebody's
more.
got to hire Duke on here for $300.
I wouldn't pay that much. I mean, maybe for a nice one, I guess I would.
Now let's see.
I made 7 more clips for my Motor Trend video.
Dude, if you need help editing it, let me know. If you need help with a thumbnail, let me know. If you just want me to watch it and give you some pointer, like my thoughts on it, let me know.
I'd like to see a thumb. I'll probably send it to a few of you to see what you think. I'll definitely need help on thumbnail. I'm not really good with them.
This one says, it looks, I don't know, I can't really tell what on the thing. Inline 4-cylinder, small block Chevy bell pattern, pulled from running Jeep. Ran, bought for a project, but need it gone. Bring help to load. I have no way to load. Also have a turbo 350 transport as well.
Oh, that's cool. That's one of the older Iron Dukes, and back before they changed the different bell housing pattern.
Oh, yeah, they came in the old Jeeps, yeah.
Yeah, they were kind of cool. I liked them just because they had the small block Chevy bell on the back of them.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it easy.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
no postal Jeeps. How about postal truck? Let's try it.
Yeah, I tried that. I tried mail truck. Man, I'll try postal. Let me try that.
No, just the old, they call them the DJs, the old Jeeps.
Yeah, that's all I'm seeing too. Is a couple Jeeps.
I'm gonna send you both the pictures of that van.
It's Turbo Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Oh,
Hi, Tom. It's us. It's everyone. That's all you need to know. Oh, what's wrong with this van? Where is it crunched? And you can't. It must be on the passenger side, huh?
can you not see the one where the picture of the side doors?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see the passenger side's all caved in now. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, it's got the cool wheels and BFGs on it and everything.
Those didn't come with it.
You took all the good parts off of it.
So, though it came with,
Like the wheels that are on the
nope,
driver's side, just the steels.
nope. It was even worse than that.
Okay.
You're gonna like this. I think it's hysterical to me.
A nice looking van.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, from that.
It don't look bad.
Is that drive by wire? Oh, it's a Gen 4. Never mind.
It's Gen 4. It's 2013, so it has to be.
Yeah. No, the Gen 3 vans like that are drive by wire. Them are the ECUs you want because they're drive by wire, but they have the IAC circuit on them, so you can do.
You can manage the throttle body. Yeah.
You do either way. You do either one you want.
Those wheels
Oh, you puts nasty white steelies on it, huh? With tractors.
I didn't. When I picked it up, that's what it had on it.
Oh, okay.
Here's the deal. It doesn't roll with those.
They're too big.
Too small.
Oh, they rub on the.
They loaded it with a loader on my trailer.
And said good luck.
And pretty much. And when I got home, I tried to back it off. I'm like, man, maybe the brakes are stuck. My dad picked the back of the van up, and we could see the wheels spinning. I'm like, well, that ain't it.
Oh, just the fronts, yeah.
So, yeah. Who knew? I know what happened. The company that owned it probably was like, "Oh, those are good. Those will work on our other van."
Yeah. Give them some garbage.
Right.
Get the thing out of here. Yeah.
Which I don't care, but it just made it difficult unloading it. Turned a 20-minute process into like 3 hours.
We need to go get some wheels, Dad. Yeah.
Well, the good thing is we got 6 Duramax trucks.
Monza.
Three gas trucks with the 8-lug stuff. So
okay. We had spares.
Yeah, we had a few just laying around.
Okay.
But
well, at least you got. I mean, if you're gonna turn it into a burnout truck, at least you got lots of rubber you can put on the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got plenty of tires to stick on it. It would almost upset me if it really sold. If it doesn't sell for a big profit, yep, there he goes. If it doesn't sell for a big profit, I don't want to sell it. I'd rather just do burnouts with it and then keep it.
Wait, where Doc disappeared?
I know
I'm back. I hit the wrong button. I went to open up a Facebook Marketplace tab, and I forgot to open a new browser, so it went blip.
Right.
And shut me off, man.
So did we talk about the Motor Trend thing yesterday?
A little bit.
Okay.
I mean, but I like hearing about it. We can talk about it again.
Well, I didn't do any more investigating, but the whole thing to me is I would love to know who tuned it.
Yeah.
And what they know about the engine, because that right there, whether it was a small block Chevy, a Ford 7.3, any other motor in the world, if the tune's off, it doesn't mean it's never going to make power.
Yeah.
No, or it's just going to knock itself to death in the first pass.
Right. So they already put themselves behind in that case. You know, if the tune's not good, which according to what they said, which it was detonating, which is terrible.
Yeah, so nobody knew how to tune a turbo car at Motor Trend.
Apparently.
Basically.
Yeah. Because
they had the laptop right there. They could have changed it.
Well, yeah, I can set a laptop on top of my car too and say, "Hey, I'm a genius," but it doesn't mean know what I'm doing. You know.
Well, what kind of fuel they have in it? You know.
That's the other thing. I wish they'd have said what injectors they had.
Yeah.
And what fuel pump.
They probably didn't know. They probably just slapped together to make a television show.
True.
You know, just because those guys did. Because if you've ever seen, I'm gonna go on a rant here, so hang on.
Go for it.
I don't care.
If you've ever seen, because I live here in Tennessee where they do that power block, and I lived out in Vegas to where a lot of these cars would end up, and they would end up at the shop that was next to the Toyota store we were running, a place called Finley Customs. Now, if you remember back in power block, I don't know how far you remember back, but years ago, it was probably 14 years ago, 15 years ago. So you got to go way back. You probably don't, Levi, because you were 8. But
I was going to say I was young, probably.
They built a couple Kunas for Dana White, if you remember those.
Mm-mm.
And then I think Ken does. And then they put a 440 in it, and they had like twin, injection little carburetor things.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then some paint, and they had some, you know, big Hemi stickers on the side of it and stuff like that. That car would not go around the block without overheating.
Yeah.
So they gave them to Dana White, and he's like, fine. So he took them to Finley Customs, and they straightened out the cooling. They straightened out the stuff they had, you know, basic stuff plumbed backwards and things like that. They got the car to run and drive and stuff like that, but it was just so bad. And originally on the side of the car it said like Hemi, and then they took just another sticker and put it right over that said 440 or UFC or something like that. But you know, when you take a picture of the car, when it's on camera, it looks beautiful. You get up to this thing and it's just a turd that's full of Bondo. And there were so many, because in Vegas there was a lot of people that have, you know, movie cars and supplied movie cars and stuff like that, and these cars are just such chicken wire and Bondo and tire shine, and they're just garbage.
Right.
So anything that they would build on that channel that looks like, oh, that's neat, it's garbage.
Garbage, yeah.
They slap it together to sell whatever vendor's selling, you know, monster transmissions or whatever. You know, and they slap this garbage together and go, woo, it's fun, it does burnouts. But it's, you know, it's probably 300 horsepower short of what it could do, because they don't care. They're not making a race car, they're making a television show.
Yep.
You know, and if you can make a television show and you got a director telling you what to do, put this car together, slap these wheels on it, take it to Next Day Paint down the street and have them spray it one color, you know?
Next Day Paint.
Next Day Paint and body. Hey, I had a beautiful Bronco that Next Day painted one time.
Hey, all I can say is I've seen some of the best show cars come out of Mako body.
It just depends, yeah. If the guy has talent and they take their time with it, because paint is just smoke and mirrors. The paint protects the metal,
right,
and the gloss is just how it reflects on your eyes. So when you sand down all the orange peel, the light reflects smooth. So your eyes see smooth, and you go, "Oh, that's pretty." Mm. It's like a you know, you got a girl with, you know, fake boobies on. Oh, that's pretty. But underneath, it's still a piece of shit, you know?
Well, I've always found funny. Paint used to be used as a protectant. It was never meant to be pretty.
That's all it does. It protects the metal.
Not very many, Blaine.
This is a good comment. Dude, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple out there still.
I thought they. So I've watched a couple, like one of those deep dive videos on that show.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord! Like.
Oh yeah. Wood screwed the thing together, and yeah.
Oh,
well, look,
some of the garbage.
There were two shops that did work on them cars.
Mm-hmm.
Like season one was one shop, and then later on was a different shop. The first shop that did all the work, those guys were actually legit. It was that other shop that did all the hacky shit.
Yeah, the Gas Auto or whatever it was.
I'll be back.
There we go. Yeah, that truck looked nice when it was done, but that was, you know, Rust-Oleum out of a can, a rattle can, and white, you know, 2K gloss on it, just laid on.
Yeah.
And then, oh, look at how it reflects the sun. It's fantastic. You know, but then you take it in and put it under an incandescent light, and you can see every tiny little scratch in the thing for years.
Oh yeah, I try. I don't worry about paint anymore. Like, I mean, I still like fixing rust and shit, but
well, my truck was so ugly, nobody would buy it.
Yeah,
it was like some kind of reddish brown. You know, just somebody painted it, and it was just they just got the color wrong and left it. So it was just ugly. And then, and I probably got on this computer, maybe I got a picture of it. Hang on, while I go investigate here.
But yeah, I understand that they have a TV show to make, but they're also a source of information. You know, Motor Trend has never not claimed to be that.
Right.
So when you're a source of information, it at least has to be accurate.
Yeah, it's got to match what their advertisers tell them to say.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You got to remember, they're not actually educational. They're entertainment. Like,
Right.
I'm sure there's a disclaimer somewhere saying, that that's the case.
Yeah,
Well, it wasn't very entertaining to me. Even as a car, even if I wasn't a car person, I'd be like, okay, why? Why did you do that?
well, I mean, but you got to remember, you're a small percentage of the young men who watch that. Most of them don't know, how to tune up a fucking lawnmower.
That's probably fair. That's probably a fair assumption.
Every young guy who's watching car content is watching it on YouTube and not watching it on Motor Trend.
Right.
Like I know, like I said, I know they're not informational, but at some point, it's got to be entertaining too.
But they are an authority. Like they kind of are an authority in like the space, right? So they should probably try to put out good information.
Well, see, that's the thing. If they would have just said, "Hey, it blew up because of this," and moved on, no one would have cared.
Right.
Well, they got a safe face, man.
Right.
You can't just be, we're ass clowns. Sorry about the show. We'll talk to you next week.
Sorry, we don't know how to make anything go fast.
Right. No, I don't have any pictures of how ugly this thing was. Maybe if I could pull up a video.
Well, like Eric the Car Guy is the same fucking way. Like
Who?
You never watch Eric the Car Guy?
I would say if I'm asking who, probably not.
Well, he got in on like the ground floor of automotive YouTube, and he's a pretty big channel now, but the content's not very good. But when LSs were all everywhere,
Right.
back when it was first getting big, I want to say he had a Fairmont. I don't remember. He had something, but instead of putting LS in it, he built a 302 or some shit. Blew it up, had all kinds of problems, didn't know what the fuck he was doing, spent way too much money.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, it bugs me that I know that they're not, like I said, they're not informational, but they kind of are. People go there to get information, to do that on their own, to have fun, right? How
Right.
fun is it to blow up an engine on the first day of running it, to then have to buy a bunch of parts to put it together again? Even with the same, almost the same probability of doing that again. Because detonation doesn't care whether it's a forged rod or a normal rod.
No. Doesn't give a shit.
They're stronger, yes. But if you're running into detonation, it's a matter of time. Of how long
Forged
it's
parts are for oopsies. They're not to fucking cover up your bad tune. They're like, if
Well, it won't cover up their bad tune. It'll just prolong the time of the engine running
yeah.
by a little bit.
Mhm. Oh well.
Right.
I got who's blowing up my phone here.
But I do know what you mean, Doc, about the TV shows and stuff and how they just slap stuff together.
Oh yeah, it's bad. So that's why I'm like, I can paint my truck with Rust-Oleum and take a good picture of it, and everybody go, oh, yeah,
It
just
looks nice though.
well, yeah, because you're in a different state.
Well, I've seen it in person.
Yeah, I know. It's, but
Have you seen
Yeah,
my
it-
garbage?
yeah,
Mine looks like garbage in person and in pictures.
mm,
I'm kind of glad it does. Maybe no one will ever steal it.
yeah.
Like open the enclosed, and they're like, "Yeah, screw this," and close the door.
Yeah. Well, just make it a stick shift if you don't want anyone to steal it ever.
Yep.
No, they would just steal it and then end up burning the clutches out of it and be stranded.
Yeah, well, at least you get it back.
Probably true.
A couple hours later, new clutch, you're fine.
I want a stick car. So both my uncle and cousin have stick LS turbo. Well, one's a turbo, one's a supercharger.
Mm-hmm.
They've been on the channel a couple times. But I don't. I like stick shift stuff, but I understand that I'm not a stick shift person.
Hogwash.
It's just like credit cards. There's credit card people and there's not credit card people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a credit card person. I'm not responsible enough to have one.
Well, then, yeah, at least you know that, which is good. Because most people your age they go hog wild with the shit, and then they're all of a sudden,
right. My problem with stick shift
$600 payment on my credit card. Yeah.
My problem with the stick shift stuff is I would beat it every day. Every time I got in it, it would be, money shifting it, and you can't do that.
I'm guilty of that.
Not unless you want to put a transmission in it or clutches in it all the time.
I don't know. Stick shift cars are cool, but I think I'm past them now. The last one I had that I really enjoyed, I had a 98 Cobra. And I really love that car, but I drove it back and forth in Dallas traffic every day.
Right. Yeah, that would get old.
My knee still hurts, and I haven't had that car for about, 12 to 13 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I like stick shifts. That's cool. If someone said, "Hey, you want to drive one?" I would have no problem. I'd go get in it and drive it.
Yeah.
But I can't.
I was a dog with an automatic, and it was just so much fun because that motor would just rev forever and just.
And I'm just too much of a child when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm. I would have it motorcycles. No.
I would have it broke every day.
Oh, I'd be dead the first 25 minutes.
Oh, on a motorcycle?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I'm big for most motorcycles unless it's a giant Harley. Okay. And then I would just be like, let's see how fast we can go in this fucking yeah. Until I hit something, and then it would be all over. So
I've never understood. Okay, so what is it about people in motorcycles that they feel the need to rev it at every stoplight? What is the point of that?
Well, if it's a Harley, that's the only way to keep the pieces of shit running.
That's hysterical. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, because if they're not leaking on your pants, they're trying to die. So you got to keep feeding them throttle until you take off and get some.
That's the most annoying thing ever. And I'm like, do they think they're cool? Do they just like do they just like listening to it?
Yeah, they probably just like listening to it, and they like the vibration on their butt. Who knows? But yeah, if it's a Harley guy, it's just a way to keep the thing running.
Oh, it just kills me.
And
then I so at work I get some time to watch like YouTube, and I'll watch crash videos or motorcycle fails or like accidents basically.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always, the first thing they do is rev it when someone like pulls out in front of them or something. It's like,
yeah,
they pull out in front of you, they don't care.
Right.
And it's just hysterical. They're sitting there 12,000 RPM going, hey, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
The person that does that never cares about you.
No, they don't see you is the problem.
Yeah.
They may hear you or whatever, or they're too busy doing whatever else. They just don't fucking see you. I've done it and been like, oh shit, because you don't, unless they got, a light on, right. Or, bright clothing, really, if they're just slinking around. That's why I'm scared to death when I drive my go-karts around the freaking neighborhood and I'm going to get squished by somebody,
Yeah, get one of them big flags.
I had a big flag on the first electric one, but yeah. That's why that little red one that does 50 miles an hour is a straight pipe, so at least people can hear me coming.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
You're going to say
the motorcycle crowd, and it's you can kind of understand it, but what I think is funny is because like me, like most people, you take the same way to work every day,
right?
And you can always tell when the 18-year-old kids, they get their first job and they hop on their first crotch rocket.
Yep.
And for about 2 weeks, you see them at the same time every day go past you, wham, 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 and you just go. And then eventually you don't see them ever again.
Yep.
Because they either got such a large speeding ticket that they're in the putt-putt lane, or they're dead.
Yeah.
Or they crashed or nearly crashed and they're scared of it. Now it's sitting in the corner of the garage. That's what back in when can refresh my memory. When was it? When it was like had to be about 2001 to like 2004 was a big Harley, and everybody had to have a chopper with a fat tire on the back and stuff like that. And these guys,
it was probably like 01 to like 06.
Yeah, but these guys, they buy these $50,000, $60,000, and $70,000 choppers that some asshole built in their garage, or was on television building them.
Right.
They drive them 3 times and they sit in the corner. So they got a second mortgage on their house for this piece of shit, and it sits there.
So my dad, I'm glad you brought that up. My dad had a chassis, never had a bike, but had the chassis to build one, and was going to build one when that was popular.
Oh, okay.
So we literally sold it, we traded it for a big block.
Yeah, like Blaine says, the Jesse James era, the Orange County choppers. And then the big dog choppers were big out west and stuff like that. Just these, ridiculous, 13-inch wide rear tire on this chopper that, ran off a 2-cylinder. And it was just, and the guys, they put on their costume to match it to drive it, on Billy Badass.
Yeah.
And those things, if you ever ridden one of those things, they are the scariest piece of crap to ride because that big tire and they got the little tire way up front. They're impossible to drive.
I've never been able to ride one. Most of the
you're not missing nothing.
The fastest thing I've ever been on 2 wheels was a scooter. So you're talking 40 miles an hour, maybe?
No, I've been on a couple fast bikes, and it's just like, no, I know I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, Blaine. Yeah, the small block Chevy, or what do they call those? They had a name for them. Small block Chevy powered motorcycles, like Fat Power.
Oh, they're like Boss Hogs.
Yeah. Boss Hogs or something like that.
Yeah, Boss Hogs. I think that's what it was.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, so explain this one to me. The whole tricycle thing.
Oh, trikes?
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, I can explain that to you. Trikes are for old dudes that can't ride bikes anymore.
Why not just hang the hat up? I mean,
no, you gotta be cool, man, because once you're brought up, you've been working with the same 12 guys fixing air conditioners all your life, right? They all ride. You're the old guy in the pack. Your wife doesn't want to get on the thing anymore because your butt's too big to get on the bike, so you got to buy a bike. You can still hang with your buddies, but you can still take, Big Mama Tattoo Lady with you.
Yeah.
Big Booty Judy.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is why. That's why trikes exist, because the old dudes just can't do it anymore.
I like the ones like the old Hondas, the 3-wheelers. I love that. That's cool. It's so dangerous.
When they do a 3-wheeler on like a Goldwing or something, yeah, those are cool.
But
so yeah, Doc, West Coast choppers started in 2001, and then American choppers, the Orange County.
Yeah.
That started in 03. So yeah, about 01 to 06 is when that fad was.
Yeah, it was. They were just, it was loud, and they were shitting. Their Arlen Ness had a shop out in Vegas when I lived out there and stuff, and so they were everywhere. And these guys, they would just litter, they would just litter the roads with their bodies and their bikes on the weekends, because they were weekend heroes on these things. They didn't know how to ride, much less ride a fork extended chopper. Showing off for your buddies,
and they weren't easy to ride either. That's the thing people don't understand about chop. They suck to ride, especially the ones that are coming out back then.
They suck to ride.
First of all, you have a hardtail bike, and you're fucking all out here like this. It's not.
No, yeah, and you're gonna go. then you're going to stop at the bar and have a couple beers with your buddies and get on this thing. Yeah, you're part of that palm tree on the side of the road now.
Yeah.
Right. I don't like.
I was just like, and they said so much money on these things. I'm like, oh my god, I could have like 6 cars for what you've got your little bicycle for.
Right.
I know, and it's just a little bike. Why?
But
Those people, yeah, were single seat, or maybe it had a big enough seat for 2 people, but they're all hardtails because you had to be cool and do that.
Yeah.
Was it Daytona Bike Week or whatever? That one, and then there's
I've
another
never
one.
been to that, but I know people that have. But
There's that one, and then what's the one out west?
Well, I know there's a big one in Hell, Michigan every year.
But it's like, what do they call it? Crap. Now I'm not gonna be able to think of it. I don't like to keep crapping on bikes, but it's so easy.
yeah, well, we can change the subject. We can crap on electric cars, and then Tesla recalled 2 million vehicles for software updates because they don't recognize the flashing lights of a police car as an obstacle, and they drive right into the back of them.
So I don't really mind electric cars too much. Like, I kind of want to like build like a junkyard electric car. Like, I seen this thing on AliExpress the other day. It was a front pumpkin, like a front diff pumpkin. So you took out like, I don't know, I guess like a 9-inch or whatever uses that style. But you pull it out and then you put this one back in that has a big electric motor on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to put in something, like just fuck around,
Mm-hmm.
They're just so expensive. Like,
oh yeah, or if you go up to Sturgis, like 38 saying.
that's what I was trying to think of that, and I'm like, what is that? It's Sturgis.
Yeah, which is I've never been there. It looks like it's someplace cool to actually do once, but I wouldn't want to stay there.
Oh,
for
right.
Yeah.
Well, they got a lot of cool stuff out there, like to see.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just about the bikes; it's more about like the entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the EV stuff. Why? They've tried it so many times, and they just
It's a phase, just like Oldsmobile diesels in the 80s. It's this is going to be great. It's life changing. It's going to save the planet. Oh, they don't work. Oh, okay. And it's funny because they're having the same woes that the mid 80s GM diesels had. It gets below 20 degrees, they don't freaking start. Or your battery goes away so far. There's only limited places to get diesel, limited places where you can plug in, where all these plugins work, because half these companies that put in all these EV chargers, people were just boonching off them, so they just disconnected them. So all the EV chargers you see out in the world, half of them don't work.
Yeah, and again, I'm not against anybody buying one, but at what point do you say this really isn't environmentally friendly and go back to a gas vehicle?
Yeah, you go. I'm an environmentalist. Look at my.
It's not about being environmental friendly. They want everybody to have electric cars so they can choose when you get to go somewhere and when you get to charge.
Exactly. They can choose that you go outside your house today. Your car's inactive. Thank you to the government. You don't have a ration card to drive your car today.
The sentence in the English language is, we're from the government and we're here to help, right?
Here's the deal on that. And this is why I don't believe that.
What?
You know how many people can come? I could literally go to 3 companies and create a whole car, start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you getting at?
You can't. Okay, so you can't keep people from going places. It's impossible.
Oh yeah, you can. Okay.
You can keep the masses from going places. It's controlling the sheep, not the mountain lion.
What about that thing they just did in New York that they just did over last week? They put in that new congestion fee that you have to pay to go into New York proper. Like,
right. Coming in from New Jersey, there's tolls and bridge fees. Now there's a congestion fee.
That's fucking insane. First of all, our tax is already paid for the fucking road. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's our road. We paid for it. It's communist, man. Fuck them, dude.
Oh, there'll be people moving, and what sucks is they're moving to all the places that we love.
Oh yeah, and they're gonna still
They're
vote
almost
cities.
here. I had 6 million people move here to my sanctuary
Yep.
during the lockdown and made traffic horrible. Ruined my life. Ruined my 100 miles an hour to work every day on the freeway.
Yep. There's actually a pretty cool one that comes from California. Kat Von D.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
She
like
lives at the next town from me.
Oh, okay.
So just kind of interesting. It's kind of off
She's a
topic.
train
But
wreck, man.
Yeah,
Well-
you could probably stand on your roof and smell her from your house.
probably.
I mean, not to mention she covered up all of her tattoos, right? So now she just has black sleeves. That's real fucking attractive.
Isn't she like 50 or 60?
She's not
No.
young.
I'm gonna say she's not attractive.
She's probably like in her late 30s, probably.
Yeah, that's old.
I mean,
Screw
I'm
that.
She's a 23-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna go after a woman, why go after that one that old?
Right.
Oh yeah, she's 41. I didn't realize she was getting up there.
Mm.
She's over the hill and into pasture now.
Mm.
My friend Tim moved from New York to Tennessee 2 years ago, almost 2.5 years ago. Yeah, I mean, like I've said, I'm not. People moving here in small. Someone doesn't like California, they got a job here or something, whatever. But like when the masses start coming to the places like this,
Right.
we're gonna have issues.
Yeah, because they don't know how to. Because they still want to vote like a jackass.
Yeah,
Mm.
like again, I hate saying
dude,
controversial stuff. But
I swear to God, man, if they try putting in like emissions and inspections in my state, I'm going to have a goddamn significant fit, dude.
there's gonna be a war if they do that in Indiana.
Dude, I'm gonna throw a fucking fit, dude. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not
How
gonna get my
many
inspected.
Nissan
I'm gonna
Altima
drive it
people?
where I want. Fuck you.
There's gonna be so many beaten up Nissan Altimas sitting at the emissions place rioting because
Yeah,
they
it's
can't.
pass. They dump 6 cans of heat into their tank and
Right.
pull off a vacuum line, get the thing to run lean enough to pass.
They don't want to. They don't. They're not gonna let them run 90. With a donut wheel, and
Right. Yeah, you
Oh,
can't drive a rolling total. Yeah.
they'll be. Yeah. Don't get me on my soapbox. Well, this is how we do it in California and New York.
Fucking Democratic shithole, man.
You know what? Why?
This is why we're not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic, okay? Because
Right.
if you let the masses fucking control everything, then you get problems. You get fucking 1930s Germany and fucking 1970s fucking 60s fucking Russia.
Yeah.
What I find funny is that even though we have the worst, like it's the worst. I mean, I don't want to say worst time in our country because it's really. I mean, my life's not horrible, right?
Right.
It's still better than every other country I've ever been to.
Well, yeah, I know, right? Everybody says how bad it is in America, but like,
Yeah, go
everybody,
to Mexico.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
everybody still wants to fucking come here.
Go to Mexico if you don't think it's so great here. Or
What I
Haiti.
say,
Yeah.
it's first world problems, right? But it's still a
Right.
problem.
Look,
Yes, my latte is cold and I'm angry.
colonizers build the places that people want to live.
Right. So yeah, don't worry about it. I know.
Well, that's why I always like seeing like people that are in their like 80s and 70s and stuff, like talking about politics and stuff. Like, you shouldn't even be allowed to vote. By the time the stuff happens, you'll be dead.
Right. And you're half crazy from the dementia and the prescriptions that you're on.
It just makes me laugh.
My wife's mother is 88 years old. She got a brand new driver's license last year without any testing.
Nice.
He hadn't driven in like 10 years.
Wow, that's
But had to go get a new license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should be
I can still drive. My car's got a backup camera. I won't smish anybody. Get out of my way. Okay.
Oh, what hurts? Okay, so around here, like, there's a lot of people that have nice cars, and every day I think I see at least one brand new car, like an old lady or an old grandpa went and bought it brand new, and it's got door dings and been smashed in the
Oh,
back.
yeah, it's got the braille bumps. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
I'm like, why would you buy a new car?
Because the other one's so beat to shit, it doesn't run anymore. Their Grand Marquis finally gave out.
It's too funny because it's usually like the paint's all glossy where they just had it buffed and waxed.
Yeah.
But it's got big old dings in it where they ran into somebody at the Walmart parking lot.
Ran the new car into the garage. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's funny.
But
here we are making fun of old people. It was bikes, now it's old people.
I should not make fun of old people. Just close your eyes and wait 5 seconds, and all of a sudden you're 56 years fucking old.
Right. Well, at least you're still doing cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I was 23 like last week.
Yeah.
Well,
The last 10 years have went by really, really fast.
Yeah. So, yeah, enjoy it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Enjoy what's left of it.
That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, have fun, race cars.
Anything like that?
Yeah. There's more to it, but you know.
Oh, sure.
Your girl might be in the room, so we'll keep it down. So.
Yeah, she's on her way back from a funeral.
Oh, okay. Yep. Drive fast, take chances, date loose women. Yeah.
Right. What
So,
is it? I know there's a saying out there for it, like fast women, fast cars, and something loud music or something.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've heard the saying before, but
Well, you guys speak for yourself. I'm staying away from any women because I won't be able to do anything cool if I have a woman. So fuck all that.
well, you gotta find. I mean, look at me. I mean, I guess I can't really say it's cool, but it's fun. I'm at least enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
You can still do cool stuff. You just gotta be.
You see, you can do cool stuff, but then you have to let your wife do her cool, idiotic stuff that you think is just off the wall, but they think is cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and let's just let it go. You can complain a little bit, but you got to let it go in the end. And then they let you drag home all this crap and crud for 20 years, you know?
Right.
I don't want to compromise anymore. I just want to do what I want to do. So I did that for too long. I'm just gonna do what I want and worry about the consequences later.
Yeah.
Like, if I had a woman, I never would have started my YouTube. I never would have built the Ranger.
Oh, you don't know that.
Oh, I know that.
So
I know that.
What you're saying is,
100%.
when
all
you
that
broke
money
up,
I spent on the Ranger and all this other bullshit I do. Oh man, so many other things I would have had to spend it on.
Well, that's why you get yourself a woman who makes $200,000 a year.
Right.
Well, even just makes money. Like,
yeah.
Here's the deal.
Start there.
Like, if she makes her own money, she can buy whatever she wants. She don't have to use your money.
Yeah, you see, they say that, but then it's like her money's her money, but your money's our money. That's how it always fucking works, dude.
I can at least say she holds her own. I mean, I've had to pick up where a couple times where money got tight, but
that's always going to happen,
right.
Regardless if you're 23 or 33 or 43, whatever.
Well,
stuff like
and I've needed her,
and then all of a sudden, oh shit, we're broke. You know, it's just the way it works.
Right. Well, I've needed her too. So
yeah,
I got a problem I need some help with, guys.
All right.
So what should I do here? So I got the adapter plate for that K series to put the small block transmission behind it,
Okay.
but from looking at it, it doesn't account for the offset of the motor because it's more like a slant inline four. It doesn't go straight up and down. So if I put the motor in at a slant, so the oil pan is level with the ground, my transmission is not, you know what I'm saying, it's not straight up and down anymore. It's going to be at the slant. So
Oh, okay.
do I just put it straight up and down and like?
Well, you can't run the trans on its side because it'll suck itself dry. But
Right.
you can always chop and modify the pan.
That, I guess that's what I have to do, right? I mean, I was thinking about putting a manual behind it, so I don't know. Like, it's kind of bothering me. There's another adapter. Well, I got a good deal on this one though, so I can't complain. But I could have bought an adapter that had the offset on it. So,
well, you learned.
What he said. Dry sump.
Oh, dry sump the oil. It's where you don't have a pickup in the pan. Everything gets sucked on the bottom of the pan.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of money. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
but it's an option.
No, not in the shit box I'm putting it
in. Cutting the pan and welding it back together at a different angle is the best option. Adding a nice fillet so it's level. Yeah, I got an extra 2 quarts. Yay!
I don't know, because like I'm putting it in a Camaro, and the manual transmissions in the 3rd gen Camaros, they're cocked to the driver. I don't know, 15 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, a bunch.
If I put the engine in at 15 degrees this way, the transmission will be 15 degrees this way, but it'll still be straight up and down, not to the. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the trans will be straight up and down, but then you have to reconfigure all the shifters and everything else.
Yeah, so I'm kind of.
There goes the monetization.
Reconfigure? I don't know.
Reconfigure.
Yeah. But I don't know. You'll figure it out once it gets in there.
Yeah, I guess.
What's the problem with the motor sitting straight up?
I mean, I guess nothing. It's just the oil pan. If it's straight up and down, the oil pan will be like, it won't be
cocked up to the side, and it won't. Yeah, you'll possibility of sucking it dry when driving it real hard.
But how many degrees?
Well, you know what? Here, I can look it up.
Because if it's only like 15 degrees, you're not talking about that much. Like twisting it,
All right, hold on. Let's do some reading here. Let's see.
Like 15 degrees of timing is a lot. 15 degrees of an angle is not.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I gotta let my dog in.
Okay.
You go do that, buddy.
Were you? Oh, you were on your live last night, but you've been on Destroyer's meme show, haven't you? On Tuesday nights.
I haven't talked to Destroyer since No Name last year.
You have to stop by, or go look at it, and like right in the middle, and just watch 10 minutes of it. Watch 10 minutes of that meme show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's adult orientated and it's hilarious, and you'll cry and laugh.
I'll have to watch it.
Why didn't he come to No Name this year with something?
He had some other obligations. So.
Oh, I got you.
And he's in Arizona, so.
Oh.
Yeah, he comes. He's down the road from Tony out there.
See, that's what I'm worried about. If it goes out like out west with No Name Nationals, it's gonna be tough for a lot of people to go out there.
Yeah, but it'll be easier for a lot of people to get there. Honestly, he needs to do a winter, like a winter-ish event out west somewhere where it's nice.
Where it's warm. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he can do a summer event in the east somewhere, and then that way people like that's what he needs to do.
But I don't know if he has the money for that.
Well, that's why you get sponsors. Like this year, he had no sponsors. That's not how you know what I'm saying? Like that's
Well, wasn't there only 2 sponsors last year?
well, that's the first year. I mean, you kind of gotta like test the waters to see how things go. But yes, he had 2 sponsors last.
I can tell you,
this year he should have had half a dozen. Like he should have had a minimum half a dozen.
I can tell you without a doubt, sponsors or sponsorship has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Trying to get them.
Well, he didn't have any problems from what I'm told, but I'm not him, so I also
Well, reserve comment. We don't have all the answers.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like anything else, as soon as you have sponsors, they want to. Okay, we want to have this. We want to have the Lucas Oil, whatever event in the middle of your event.
Right.
Fill in the blank.
Well, I mean, it's kind of easy though. Like you just tell them no. Saying like
right? Yeah, you tell them no, then you don't get the money. But you just got to find one that'll just wants to be there,
right?
And get the money. It's just so they can market to the 150 people that show up with their cars. So that's a pretty low audience to put up $5 or $6 grand for an event.
The factory K motor is at an 11-degree angle.
Ah, piss. It's 11.
Yeah, I mean,
unless it's going to affect the way the oil drains out of the head,
maybe.
Who cares?
I don't know. Well, I'll get it in there, and I'll just kind of see what it, feel it around.
So
see, here's the thing: sponsors are sponsors. You have to have a firm approach with them, man. You can't let them run the show. It's your show. The only reason they're there is because it's your show, right? So you just tell them, you put them in their place. If they don't want to come back, they don't got to come back. But that's not your problem.
Maybe that's why the first 2 didn't come back.
No, I don't know how much I can say, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, we don't have enough information on what went on, and we'll just reserve comment because we don't know. So and move on. Yeah.
I would think the 2, like you said, the winter and the summer would work. But okay, so then where do you put them? Like Colorado, Arizona.
The summer event could probably stay at Sikeston. You could also go a little bit more east if you wanted to. No big harm, no foul. And then the winter event, I don't know, man. Arizona, somewhere close to Vegas. If people can go to Vegas afterward, I don't know. Lots of places,
Yeah, Florida. Who knows? Lower Alabama, anywhere. Anywhere where they have the tracks are open in January.
Yeah.
Texas.
But I mean, that would just give it so more people could go, right? Because, like you said, if it isn't centralized in the country, then more people will have a hard time getting there. But if you have 2 events on opposing sides, then everybody can go,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think the money is the one that's holding them back from that.
Yeah.
And honestly, probably his time. I mean, think about the time it takes to do all that kind of stuff.
Time's not an issue because when you're the boss, when you're a boss, the role of being a boss is not to do everything. The role of being a boss is to delegate the the shit that needs done. That you find people to do one aspect of it needs done. So it's not a time thing. Okay, he just needs to find the people to do it. But I guess if you need to reimburse them, that could be a money thing, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's either a time thing or a money thing. There's no other variations when it comes to getting something done.
Well, I will say this: I do know for a fact that the first No Name was the first event that made money. So I know I can say that because that's been talked about before.
How do all?
I don't know how to do all.
How do you do all?
How do
How do all? Yeah.
I'll try. I've never done it before.
Yeah.
What is his name? Damn it, Buff something.
Buff Garage.
That's the guy. What's his name? Josh.
Joshua Buffington. Yes.
Right. Okay, he posted at Heartland, the racetrack shut down, and they're doing an auction. Where's that at? I didn't look.
Heartland's in Topeka, Kansas.
Is it?
Yes.
That stinks.
Mm-hmm.
More tracks are closing. How
Yeah.
are you doing all? Oh, there you go. Oh, I know the problem. He's just a little hammered.
He's slurring his keyboard.
Yeah, right. I am doing fine. I won't speak for these two fine gentlemen.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we're an hour and 16 minutes in.
Yeah. How many people in the top corner are in the show here total?
11.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay.
Does that include your guys's?
Yeah, that's everybody. So
okay, that's cool.
yeah, and then this is where you have to start, and you have to like every Wednesday night you have to put up.
Oh shit! Today is Wednesday.
Yeah, today is Wednesday.
When is Dallas and Shane going live?
I don't know. I don't get notifications from them for some freaking reason.
Oh, they're live right now. That's where everybody's at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they started at 8:00.
Oh, at 8:00 your time? Yeah, it's only 7:16 here.
Yeah, 8:00 my time.
Oh, okay.
But so the factory manual transmission in the third gen sit at 22 degrees angle to the driver. So I guess I could like split the difference.
Well, if you lay the motor over 11 degrees like it should be, then the trans will be only
11 degrees. So that should be okay, right?
Yeah, they'll balance each other out.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It blows up, or
I can't think of a single thing that can go wrong with that setup.
I don't feel like 11 degrees will affect drain back issues.
No, I don't. It's not a very big slant. Like it's not a lot. It is.
Even like 11 degrees, like
Yeah.
I don't know how to show it. Not much.
Yeah, it's less than the clock points to 1 o'clock is 11 degrees. So it's fine.
Never assume we run an event for kids, and logistics are a pain in the. Yeah, people say they're going to do something and they don't, so you have to clamor for scraps. It sucks putting on an event. Well, I've never put one on, so I don't really have a say. But I can't imagine it being like, as far as coming up with an event, I can't imagine it being hard. Actually going through with it at a track or at a place, I can see that being difficult.
Jumping through all the hoops and the insurance and this and that and timing, and then now it rained. Now what the fuck do you do? And
Right. That's the stuff that I think makes it difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I could come up with 4 events right here of cool stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
The follow through
That's right.
As John says, the leg work.
The lake. Make the lake work. Yeah. Okay. What are we doing here?
I need to get a hold of this guy right here, Nick Jacobs.
What's Nick's story?
Nick Jacobs makes a AR5 5-speed transmission to small block Chevy bell housing adapter.
Oh, okay.
Like a bunch of people make them. Like Fabot makes them. Like anyway, but he does it like through Facebook for the most part. So I'm gonna get a hold of him and see if he can make me one that has that 22-degree offset, so I can use a stronger transmission. Because I have I have a very nice AR5 sitting in the corner of my shop, and it's the one that came out of the Solstice, so it has like the further back shifting position, which would be perfect for the Camaro. So that's kind of what I want to use.
That would be fun.
So I'm gonna ask him if he can make me one.
An 83 El Camino with a turbo LS.
No, yeah. I don't like those El Caminos, but okay.
It's hideous as all day,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be fun. It's kind of cheap though. To be honest, $2,500. Make an event just for your state. That would be really hard. Your car count would be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Although I will say, I don't know how far it is from Sikeston, but I like Beach Bend Raceway. I love that track.
Hang on a second. I got.
Oh shit! How was the funeral? Depressing?
I mean, I don't know, like, if it was or like a memorial thing.
What do you mean?
She wasn't there.
What? So like she wasn't in a casket?
Wasn't there, no.
The crap! What kind of odd place did you go to? Maybe she got cremated or something.
That's what I
Did you
was
see any urns?
Not that I paid attention. I mean, I was standing like there was that many people, like the majority of us were standing, but I was in like the very back. I could hear everybody talking, see everybody on the stage, but I couldn't see anything up front. But big
Man.
ass flowers and
I hope my funeral is not that big.
well, because it was like Ashley's side of the family and then her husband's side. And there was a lot of them.
Hey, look, a screaming baby.
Ouch. What?
A screaming baby.
Why do you want to see a screaming?
I don't want to see it. That's just what's there.
Why?
So Levi, I have a content idea for you.
Uh-oh.
This is what you do. Hi. So you when we do these lives, you go
Right.
through them and you like take sections out. Like anytime we get on a big long rant about a topic in particular, slice
Yeah.
that out live, make it its own video, and then name it whatever the fuck we're rambling on about.
I had planned on that.
Oh, I was like, who the heck is that? It's
Hi.
Hi.
You know
Hi.
you.
Heard you had a lovely time at the funeral.
It was so great.
Yeah, those are always just a hoot, right?
Mhm.
Well, mine will be a great time.
It was supposed to be a
For everybody.
celebration, so but nobody was really celebrating. So
Well, that's when everybody gets together at the bar after the funeral.
That's the celebration.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I got a really bad headache, and I'm going to bed.
How many people we got on here? Dylan?
11.
Awesome.
That's it.
And we've had at least 11 consistently since the beginning. We've had like a total of 17 on here at one point.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and I just looked. They don't even feed me Politos and Dallases.
Who is it through, though?
Slant
Is it-
Daily, Brad.
Is it through Slant Daily? Yeah.
Yeah, that's where everybody's at. They all, I mean,
sorry.
like honestly, that's where I'm usually at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I go to people's lives, but I really don't like. I'll do it occasionally, but usually if I got time enough to sit down for an hour or two, I try to be something productive.
Well, you know, we're all LS guys. Maybe we should do our own tech talk, LS tech talk. You know, like the three of us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm game, but I don't know what I got to share.
don't share anything. People ask you questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
Did you hear he has a
exactly.
fractured toe?
My brother?
Your dog. Your brother's dog.
Like the only
Oh, yeah, I heard
problem
that.
is that the majority of us aren't plugged into the LS
World.
algorithm as hard as we should be.
Right.
I don't understand why, but like we're not. So we would have to do. I don't know what we'd have to do, but we'd have to like try to branch out and get more people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for content ideas. I don't really care. I'm down for anything. I mean, the whole reason I started YouTube was to enjoy it, whether it was through, people or me just talking to a camera, and I get to enjoy filming it, editing it, and stuff.
But that's if you take your live and you go past where people get off Dallas's and Shane's live and Tony's live and all that kind of stuff, hang out for a while, you probably get a bunch of people roll in.
I had planned on going for 3 hours.
Okay.
You all obviously you're not prisoners. You're free to go whenever.
I'm gonna let it run. Like even if I do dip out, I'm gonna let it run on mine to keep.
keep the hours up. Yeah, exactly. I'll probably need it. But yeah, let me go. I gotta go get a drink. I'll be back. I need some water, man.
I need to go down to the store and get something.
You don't keep drinks in your house?
I do. It's just that like I try to keep all of the pop and shit out of the house so I don't overindulge.
Right. I got pop here and I got water, but none of it's in the refrigerator.
Well, it's only good when it's cold.
I agree.
So, what do you think? Should I get some Gen 4 square port heads or should I get some Gen 5 square port heads? What would you use if it was up to you?
What's the goal?
Well, the goal is I want the better head. I hear
Have a good night, Blaine.
I hear the exhaust. Have a good night, buddy. I hear that the exhaust ports on the Gen 5 stuff are pretty bad. But
what's your power goal?
As I don't know, as much as I can in A.
NA?
No, it won't be hard. I'm going to have 401 cubic inches. Okay,
so here's the deal.
Yeah.
What do you want compression or don't you?
Oh yeah, I want all the compression.
Okay, so you want small chamber heads, and you want high flowing intake ports, basically.
Yeah. Which, like I said, which is why I'm stuck between Gen 3.
A 706 head has like the smallest chamber.
I'm not putting 706 heads on it. It's going to be the big square port heads.
You just made the decision for yourself.
Yeah, but like I said, should I do Gen 4 or should I do Gen 5?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
You're not going for the best option.
The 706 heads are not the best option.
Well, all I can say is you want the compression, so they got small chambers. They got big valves.
Yeah.
They don't shroud.
Okay. What?
If you port the intake side of things, you'll get much better product. I mean, mine's not, but for NA applications, it would. And the exhaust ports, I've had a lot of people tell me that with certain horsepower limits, exhaust ports mean nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, we've made 500 horsepower on steel small block Chevy castings. So, again, it depends on your power limit or power goal.
Right. I mean, what do you got, Ken? I got 862, 5.3 truck heads on mine.
Well, well, you were gone getting a drink. I'm trying to put together this 401 stroker LS, and and I'm trying to decide on what heads I want on it, and I wanted to put some square ports on it. Well, I think it's B&R. B&R has a cam that lets you use Gen 5 heads, and I'm thinking about using Gen 5 heads, and I wanted Dylan to tell me why I shouldn't, and this fucker's telling me to put 706 heads. and I don't want to.
Well, that's the whole.
Those big square ports flow any more than the cathedral ports with some work to it.
They'll probably flow more, but is it useful flow? Again, I'm going back to the whole Motor Trend thing now. The whole engine combination matters. Like when you do an NA build, every part in the motor matters. Literally every part.
Yeah.
So
you do a turbo build, a lot of that goes out the fucking window.
Exactly. Because I mean,
look, I'm not saying it won't go turbo later. I'm just saying.
Well, then I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh my god, why would you build it NA?
Right.
That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. Now you're talking like a sausage. What are you doing?
Listen, I can make like almost 600 horsepower NA out of this engine if I do it.
So you're saying it'll make 1,000 no problem with it?
Yeah, I want to do because like it's not a race. It's not going in a race car. It's going in a square body pickup with a 6L80.
Well, why the hell are you building a race motor?
Not a race motor. It's just a big cubic inch. It's just a big cubic inch motor. That's all it is.
Just throw that out the window. Don't even do that. You're going to disappoint yourself.
Because if you're putting it in a square body, you need torque. So just do it in a big block Chevy and be done.
I'm not
even that.
I'm not fucking putting a big block Chevy.
You could do a 6-liter NA.
Okay, look. I have a 6.6 liter. Why would I want to do a 6 liter?
Well, cheap. I don't know.
I already have the stuff. I already have it. I got it cheap.
Okay, I don't have any experience with the 6.6, and
it's just a bigger motor. Okay, look, you know what? Let's back up. Pretend it's a 6 liter. Okay, pretend.
Okay.
All right. How would you build a 6 liter?
A 6.6.
I said pretend. Yes. Yes, a 6.6. How would you build a 6.6?
I wouldn't.
How would you build? God damn it. How would you build a 6 liter?
For what application? Okay, like you're talking to the guy that everything has to be like this for that, this for this, you know.
Okay, I want it to be a nice street rod, like something that's.
Then why do you need a giant head with a giant cam?
Right.
I didn't say I needed a giant cam. I just want.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could literally put a stock 6.6 in a square body, throw a small cam in it.
Look, when you have that much displacement, bigger heads are better. Okay, because you actually have the volume to maximize the head. So why not use them?
Because you don't need that much power. You need the torque.
Well, then I could put in a torquey cam then. Okay, like that. The heads are not the problem. It's the cam. You're talking about cam. Okay, if I want to keep the RPMs down low and lots of torque, it's the cam. Heads are not playing into that a whole lot.
You're saying a street rod square body truck. That's your first problem. But here's
it's not a problem. It's going to be a short box. It's going to be slammed real low. It's going to have a 6L80 in it. Like,
why don't you just buy the combination out of my van and that'll do exactly what you want?
Just buy the van. You can come
right.
I already have all the stuff. Why would I buy more stuff I don't need?
Because it's already set up, ready to go.
I paid $75 for my 6L80, so.
Well, did it work?
I have no idea. We're gonna find out.
It's probably just a bare chunk of aluminum.
No, it's all there. It was a pullout. I think it lost a gear, so I'm gonna have to go through it. But
which one? If it's 6 gear, you don't really need it.
True.
And you know what? It's funny that we bring that up. My dad bought a Jeep. It was all torn apart. The guy tried to rebuild the transmission. It was a 5-speed.
Right. Yeah.
It's now a 4-speed in a 5-speed case.
You know, you would not believe how many Honda guys do that. Fuck.
But it wasn't on purpose. He literally left out 5th gear, putting it back together.
That was kind of on purpose then.
But, well, he didn't know it until he put it back together.
It was so far apart. He's like, it looks like everything's here.
Right.
And
so except for the last detent, it's gone.
The big pile of extra parts on the table, those are important. Like
apparently not. I don't know how the transmission works, honestly, because literally 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, you go to 5th and it's nothing.
Air.
Neutral. Or maybe the gears are just machined off or something. I don't know. It's impressive, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're going to do an NA motor, stock cam, these motors already make 350 horsepower.
Stock cam. I'm not using the stock cam. What is wrong with you?
Then your drivability goes out the freaking window.
Right. And then, okay, so
it's not going to be a radical cam. It's going to be like, a sloppy stage 2.
What is that?
Yeah, 600 amp. Yeah, it's not going to idle.
First of all, it's 585. Okay, and
so
my Ranger idles just fucking fine because I'm a masterful tuner. All right, so I don't want to hear it.
It's going blah 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 blah.
That's what people want in a fucking idle. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you don't.
Okay, so what I'm getting here on this is like you wouldn't do it. Okay, you wouldn't build it. Fine, gotcha. Okay. Tell you what, I want to put a supercharger on it. How would you build it?
Well, your supercharger is going to be all low end torque. There's not going to be any high end.
Superchargers are torque everywhere. What are you talking about?
It's one of those topics. It's like there's so many variables and everything.
Yeah, what supercharger? Like an LSA or just like a Pro Charger or what supercharger?
Probably. I know where I can get an LSA, so probably an LSA one. Yeah.
So like a stock blower, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably just a stock one. Yeah.
Top power is going to be 6,500, 7, probably not even 7. So you don't need a huge cam. Your valve train. You could probably keep stock valve train in it with the stock cam.
Yeah.
Like stock truck cam. And be fun.
I don't think I would keep the stock truck cam though.
Well, okay, so put in something similar to a stock truck cam.
Yeah, a 6.6 with a ported LSA blower on a stock motor will make 600 horsepower.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't need to be anything radical.
Yeah.
And then it'll idle low, and you can run the air conditioner and cruise around, and just cruise around in 5th on the freeway, just 1,500 RPM, no problem.
Ken, I'm not an NA guy. I honestly,
I'm not an NA guy either. Okay.
I don't ever plan on building one NA.
But like, I just wanted to build an NA just so I could just putt around and it's still gonna make 500 horsepower. Like, who the fuck cares?
You see what this is?
No, I can't see it.
It's his wallet.
It's my wallet. You know what NA cars cost? A lot.
It's literally not going to cost any more. I'm going to put the same cam in it and the same heads on it. I'm just going to fucking send it.
Again, then just keep it stock. If you're not going for big power, it's 400 horse. You could get that with a stock engine.
I don't want to do that. Like, that's the point, man.
I'm just telling you how I would do it.
Like, don't you understand what the replacement for this replacement is? It's
Wait.
nothing.
What's a
Okay,
stock
I have-
6.6 make?
I have more displacement, so I'm good, right?
Let's see what it makes. Let's see here.
What are you looking up?
What kind of
Okay,
power?
Look up. It's a Gen 5 L8T. That is essentially what what it is.
It already produces 400 horsepower, so you don't even need to do anything to it.
Yeah, except make more power.
Well, what do you need?
But then throw an exhaust on it. And
Right, throw a decent exhaust on it, and
Yeah,
You'll
I'll
put
put,
a horse. Yeah.
I'll put some Chinese fucking headers on it. Like, yay!
put a
Like,
different. That'll probably gain you 5 horsepower. And okay, so then take off the water pump, do an electric water pump. That's 5 or 10 right there.
probably not going to do that. No.
And see, what's the point of making the power?
What? To say that I do? Like, I don't fucking know.
Like, there's so many better ways to make the power cheaply than doing all that.
Yeah, and I'll just put a turbo on it later when I feel like it. Until
Yeah.
then,
And even if you
No.
wanted to make 500 horse, you could make 500 horse with a stock engine.
Yeah, 500 horse on a stock square body Chevy, you're gonna drive into a wall because the brakes
okay,
ain't gonna
first of all, it's not a
Right.
stock by Chevy. It has a 2020 Silverado frame under it. Okay, so it's a modern Chevy as far as I'm concerned.
We're splitting hairs here.
It's gonna drive like a new truck.
But it'll still look like a square body.
That's the best part. It looks like a good truck.
Just buy a new truck with a 6.6 already in it.
Fuck all that noise. That costs a lot of money. Okay, I have time. I don't have money.
I don't have either. But yeah, we're splitting hairs here.
I guess it's just a bad idea, and I'm just off my fucking rocker. Okay.
That's the deal. Like, you don't want to spend money, but then you want to spend money on push rods and cams and
Who the fuck said anything about push rods?
well, if you're gonna do something with a cam, your cam's gonna be radical enough to require a lifter change and springs
said,
and
if it's under 600 lift, it doesn't change the base circle.
Exactly. It's gonna be under 600 lift, my dude.
well, just leave the stock one. Okay, let's find this out. What's the stock cam specs? Oh, you're killing me, Ken.
You're Smalls, you're killing me. Like I said, this is a perfect video in of itself. It's probably not very good.
I don't even know if I can find it.
No, but if you put that in with a blower on that 6.6, it's 600 horsepower easy.
Yeah.
If it's already starting out at 400, you're a 200.
Yeah, 7 pounds of boost, and you're making 600 horsepower.
Right.
And those things will go way past 7. So,
Yeah.
but you'll just run out of air at, like you said, 6,500. But who cares?
Yeah. Well, that's like I said. I wasn't originally. I was just gonna do a nice NA build, and just enjoy the truck. Now somehow I've gotten talked into putting LSA on it, and like let's just jack her back, fellas. All I asked was what heads. That's all I asked. I asked what heads, and somehow we are so far off base all of a sudden.
I'm trying to find it here, Ken, for you.
Look, a set of fully ported 706 heads only flow 250 CFM at like 500-600 lift. Like, that's fine, I guess. But the square ports, they're like 300 stock. So like,
So it's just get the what are they Gen 4, Gen 5 squares is just your conundrum.
yeah.
What would be the advantage of having a Gen 5?
I think they flow a cunt hair better on the exhaust side or on the intake side.
What's that
And
going
they're
to net you?
And they're cheap because no one really wants them. Like the Gen 4 heads, everybody fucking wants, right? Because most people can use them. The Gen 5 stuff, you don't really got to jump through hoops, but there's a couple things you got to do to make it work. So you can get them cheaper in the long run.
If it's only as you say, cunt hair more,
Yeah.
why even worry about it?
Why bother? You're not going to notice it on an NA build.
Right.
Okay. Well, it was also to scratch my ego and make content for the channel because now I'm putting heads on an engine that don't really belong there.
Okay. If you're wanting to do that, put LS heads on a 7.3.
That just sounds like a silly idea.
It's what you're saying.
No, that is not what I'm saying.
It's the same thing. How can I turn a 400 horse motor into a 450 horse motor?
Well, the 7.3, the Godzilla heads probably outflow an LS head. So
Yeah, but we're splitting hairs here. They flow a little bit better, but
probably a lot better.
hairs. I'm trying to be as honest as I can.
They make
I can tell that.
I'm getting him heated.
Well, I thought it was a real simple question. Like,
I gave you a real simple answer. I wouldn't.
yeah, 706 heads. Yeah, I know. I've seen.
I just throw a 6-liter in it that makes 380 and roll down the road with it.
Why wouldn't a bigger engine be better? Like, I have the 6.6. Why would I not use that?
Is it going to be functional?
What do you mean?
Do you need the power?
Yes.
For what? Like, if I'm building a race car, I want to go as fast as possible with it, with what I have, right? So that makes sense. But if I got a slant 6 build that I'm trying to get that extra 25 horsepower out of, is it really worth all this effort?
Yes.
Maybe I'm just different, but I don't. Like, if I build a square body right now, identical to what you're saying, it would get a stock 6-liter, a decent gear set, and a good transmission, and I'd roll with it.
Yeah, well, that's basically what this is. It's a good transmission, lots of gears for driving around the road, like we were talking about earlier. Okay, modern suspension, so it's actually gonna fucking drive straight for the most part, as long as I weld the frame up good when I fucking narrow it, when I shorten it. Okay, like,
Good luck.
oh, I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff.
I've not driven the ramp truck yet, but we'll see how that works.
Well, you know what? I'll figure it out. Thanks for all your advice.
I got a buddy that's in. Let's see if you can see it in New
You might have
Zealand.
to change your background thing.
Yeah, let's get rid of the background. Hang on.
It helps. It really does.
Virtual background, nothing. All right, here we go. He's in New Zealand. He works with me at Nissan. He's trying to get a sticker from this dealer.
Cock Ram Nissan.
That's great.
But I'm just trying to be helpful, Ken.
What, you know?
What heads do you have, Ken? What heads do you have at the house that you could put on there?
706 ish. I have a really cruddy set sitting outside.
Man, $399 seems pretty good for a $399 engine.
Well, what heads? Do it this way. What heads can you get cheaper, the 4s or the 5s? Can you put your fingers on?
I could probably get the 5s cheaper.
Then there's your answer.
Right.
That's a good answer. I was just looking for other, opinions besides
There is no
that.
other opinion, though.
Well, according to you, there's a bunch of fucking opinions.
Well,
if you're going to do this, if you're going to do that,
that's
if
what
it's
people don't take into account when they're building cars.
and if it's the second Tuesday of the month on,
What's your
at
goal?
4 p.m., then you got to do this.
If I wanted to run 8s with a stock LS, I'd tell myself to go get lost. unless I'm putting it in a car that weighs nothing. Then
Right.
it's possible.
Yeah, you're putting it in a front engine rail. No problem.
Right. Then 8s is possible. But if I
Right.
put it in a 4,000-pound land yacht, I'm kicking myself in the rear with that. It all depends on the goal.
Right.
A friend of ours wants to build an LS square body, like you're saying, but it's a 3/4 ton. He wants to be able to haul with it. I said,
Oh yeah, this thing will never haul. This thing's never hauling. I mean, I might pull a trailer with it, but like,
then what do you need the power and torque for?
huh?
The power and torque means nothing.
I just said, well, because I want to put $100 bill on the fucking dashboard and to look at my buddy and be like, hey, son, you get that $100. You know, I want to be a jackass about it. Okay.
What's your Ranger for then?
The Ranger is to scare me and other people. That's what the Ranger is for.
There you go. That's your $100 bill unit right there.
No, the cab's too small. You can reach the dashboard just sitting in it.
Those little dinosaur arms.
Yeah. have to be.
All I can say is if you're in the Laguna and you're trying to get a $100 bill off my dashboard, which there's no dashboard in it right now, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're standing the wheels on it, yeah, it's probably gonna.
There's no seat in it.
Oh well, that probably helps too. Yeah.
How much power would it
Like-
take to send 4,000 pounds into the 8s? Okay, let's do this calculation. For you.
1,500.
It's close.
So I think
Depends
what
on
we
how-
do, gentlemen, when it comes to lives, is we have to like break these up into like better segments. Because, like I said, I think it would be really good to be able to go through our lives and yank out. Well, we are talking about this here, so that's its own video, and we are talking about this for 10 minutes, so that's its own video. Like, I feel like we need to get a little bit more structured.
Well, this is Levi's show.
Yeah, I know. I'm just musing about it.
okay.
You know?
How far into the 8s? That's the question.
Well,
An 860, so you got a solid 8, not an 899. Let's just say 860 for shits and grins. Since
I was gonna say 899, but all right,
that's the 9.
that's an 8. What are you talking about? It counts.
That's a 9 with a tailwind.
Yeah.
So to do an 896, it would.
Hey, Turbo World's here. Turbo World, come jump into live with us, man.
An 899. Okay. Here's the deal. With my ET calculator, I show, hang on, 1,100 horsepower. That's to the wheels, on the ground, from start, as soon as the green light drops, all the way to the end. To do 896 in a 4,000-pound car.
You know what? That is a good question. You would have to go to Levi's Dylan's channel, which
Yeah,
you're probably on my channel, right?
Yeah. Well, Dylan, put the link up.
For my
Yeah.
channel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll put the link up. Follow the link, and when you go to the link, it'll say, "Do you want to, broadcast on your channel either?" And don't get kicked off, man. You're getting kicked off everywhere.
So he wants to come on here on live?
I mean, I told him that he could hop in. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Why not?
Like,
you
90%
go.
of the time, I like talking to him. So, like,
Celazine, it is with an LS. No one's saying that it's not. I don't think so, at least. I mean, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do 1,500 with a stock block.
so you're just putting in rods and pistons, right, Dylan? You're not doing the crank.
Well, it'll be a stock crank.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're just doing rods and pistons.
I don't know which one though. I've not really researched it. It'll probably honestly be the cheapest one I can find. So
Well, what's wrong with the crank you got?
the rod, well, the motor I bought also had bad rod bearings.
So the crank's chewed up.
And so and then the one in my car now is the same. It's got the same problem. Hey, Justin, how are you?
Levi, put the link to your channel in the chat.
Oh,
Oh,
for the
I
channel?
would have to.
He did.
Okay.
He did. It's in there.
No,
Is it
that's to join StreamYard. I thought,
Hold on.
what are we trying? I don't know what we're trying to accomplish here.
Well, Turbo World is on my channel. Okay. So in order for him to get to see, I don't know if he won't be able to see your.
No, we want him on Dylan's screen.
Yeah. So I put the link for your channel, so he can come to your screen and then he can see your comment. Because when you comment in the chat, no one on my channel can see your comments in the chat.
Oh.
Yeah,
But-
it's not synced up as good as it should be.
Oh, I thought the argument was the stock LS block couldn't send your buddy's truck into the 8s.
Yeah, okay. So
Ken, you're
Turbo
trying to
World-
go well. The
no,
way
it shouldn't be.
the way
Huh?
he's saying it, he wants to do that in A.
I never said I wanted to do the HNA. What are you talking about? Shut up, dude.
Well, you got to have that big old cam, and you got to have the right heads. I mean,
I
the
gotta
truck
have-
ought to run 8s.
I gotta have the 3/4 race cam with some camel thumb heads and fucking yada 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 yada.
So his frame swap old body style Chevy can jump a Coke can.
That's right.
Yep, jump Coke cans, grab $100 bills off the dash, all that shit.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Bald Eagles and Murica and yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But anyway, Turbo World, go to the link I put in the chat, the YouTube link, and that'll take you over to Dylan's channel. And then in Dylan's channel, you'll see the link to come in the chat or come in the live.
Don't forget to stop and subscribe and check out all the other stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a
Biden-
gift shop.
Yeah.
Of
He's a smart
videos.
kid for being young.
Yeah, jump over to exactly.
Selfless plug, or whatever they call that.
Yeah.
Or don't subscribe.
Yeah.
So,
Just leave me a super chat for $100. You don't have to do anything else.
hey,
Or
buddy,
don't subscribe. Hey,
Say
that's
it.
Turbo World.
Just leave me a super chat for $100. You don't have to do
all
anything
right,
else.
you're gonna have to mute the.
I'm in the
So you
show.
can-
Everyone can see and hear me. I don't feel like I'm in the show.
Oh, I can hear you, brother.
Yeah,
What's up, guys?
you're just freezing up, but yeah, you're good now.
Yeah.
What's up? So yeah, we got banned on TikTok this morning for showing my BB gun last night on the live feed.
Dude, I
That's
remember
impressive.
when YouTube cracked down on all the gun channels like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Like, it was pretty wild. So, yeah, they don't like BB gun. They don't like anything, man.
No, not at all. I was showing a Hank Williams video I put here up on YouTube, and it was Country Boy Can Survive. And my mom, she lives out in the mountain off the grid. And, guns are a part of our lives. If they weren't, we'd come down as bear scat, So it's just kind of odd, man. They have different rules for different places.
Well, what do you expect from a communist country ran app, right? Like, they don't like guns.
They're run by the CCP, but I just want to show everybody, man, because I don't think these kids know. And if you go on there, man, they have some cool features where you can actually get out there and reply using video replies, which is really cool. It's a really quick way to network. I grew my network on there twice as big as my network here on YouTube because I could actually get out to people, without being blocked. Just by doing video replies, and it's just really hard, to get out there when you're talking about the stuff I'm talking about, and there's so many businesses that don't want to hear it.
Turbo, is there a way to turn your mic down a little bit?
Huh?
Is there a way to turn your mic down a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Every time I go on TikTok, I just see a bunch of half-naked girls doing dumb dances. So I must be on the wrong
Same.
part of TikTok.
I always get told it's the algorithm. I'm like, I don't search that though. Like, that's what the algorithm should be based on, right?
Well, we have a different algorithm here in the States than they have over in China. Like, over in China, all they get shown is, like, educational stuff and, like, very
Yeah, TikTok over there is educational for the young people, and it's all
Educational. It's just communism
like, it really is.
propaganda.
They want their young people not to be retarded.
idiots like ours. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Because a while back they were talking about banning TikTok, like in the States.
Yeah, then all of a sudden all those politicians got a new Porsche.
Yeah, and like
then they had an office in. I think they have an office in Los. It's pretty interesting.
I'm not 100% cool with that level of censorship, like banning a whole app.
I don't know. I just feel like somebody should be fighting back.
It's good we're getting half the message.
Yeah.
I think his internet's acting up.
Oh, for sure. It has to be. 2 days in a
what's
row.
up? Okay, yeah, Levi, you should talk to this Jake guy.
This is the guy you were talking about?
Yeah, this is the guy with the Godzilla S10. He's sharp like you, dude. He's a smart guy.
I'm a pretty dull person. I'm not very sharp.
I mean, when it comes to
And they don't like it, and I don't care that they don't like it. This isn't how I make a living. I make a living helping people fix cars, and so I don't care. They're not offering me anything, so I really don't give a damn.
how's your your Volvo wagon doing these days? I haven't seen much about it.
Oh, it sucks, man. I got 4 ball tires on it right now. Somebody tried to cut the 2 drag radials on the back of it twice. It needs an inspection. It's been out of inspection for 3 weeks. I was almost going to drive it today because we got a little camera attachment, the little 360 camera attachment that I broke. I got that little attachment in the mail today. And so I was super stoked to go drive the car, but then it turned into like 50-degree day with rain. And I'm like, this is just a shit fest. That's not going to work out.
I don't know, man.
So
50-degree day. I'd be cool with that.
I wanted to do it live with that camera in the car. I thought it'd live feed with you guys like bouncing around in the car, doing some blowing some fire out the hood, but who knows? I don't know if my phone's capable of doing that. The AT&T is pretty shoddy out here in the middle of Houston. I have no idea how they communicated with the space station and the moon in 1969 with a perfect picture, and I'm getting so much breaking up and sharing my garage in the middle of the city of Houston. It's amazing with the AT&T fiber optic connection.
They get pictures from Mars, man. What are you talking about? The moon.
Right.
Hey,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mars, yeah.
They only got to tint the pictures from Mars a little bit, like now.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Because otherwise it
Well,
would look like it up.
I need to talk to Elon, I guess, a little bit. I need to get in tight with him or something, and get in tight with NASA so I can actually do a live feed without pixelating and breaking up in the middle of the city of Space Station in Houston.
I've been wanting to get Starlink at my place for a while now, but that costs money. So.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Oh, man. It takes a couple wrenches, you know what I mean? I don't think I have those kind of wrenches in my toolbox. No, I don't have those. I do have the BB gun laying up in a toolbox. I did a live earlier on Truth. They didn't like the BB gun in the toolbox. Donald Trump don't like the gun.
Oh wait, you're on Truth too?
Yeah, I hadn't been on there for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months because I made 2 or 3 accounts on there. One of them was YouTube is a scam, and they blocked that gent quick. They said, no, sir. It was kind of like the state of Texas. The state of Texas wouldn't give me void license plates for my car, but Virginia would. And Virginia tried to come to my house and take them off me a couple times. I wouldn't let them have them.
Wait, what are void license plates?
So the deal is, if you have void on any government document, void is voided that government document. So if I get a ticket in that car in the state of Virginia, which I got 3, they were all dismissed in court.
Yeah, but how do you get a voided license plate?
Yeah, you pay for a personalized plate, just like anything else. Texas, they're outrageous. They're like $200 or $300 extra per year for the registration. But in Virginia, they were pretty cheap. They were like $45 or $50 for a personalized plate. And I just got lucky that it went through, and they didn't catch it, but they wouldn't give it back to me. So I have that plate on my car right now from the state of Virginia, and I'm legal to have that on the front of my car as long as I have a Texas legal plate somewhere on it. And so I do. I have one on the back. It's all about law, man. I'm part Indian, and if you look into law, I got some serious grudges to hold because of my ancestry. I don't know if you know about our government, but they actually told my ancestors that it was illegal for them to teach me my civilization and my culture. And I think that's insane, dude. We had a president named Andrew Jackson that was drawing on folks out in the middle of the street with guns 160 years ago, and we can hardly talk on the internet to each other about it now. And I think it's bullshit. And I aim to fix that. If I got to sue the pants off of them, if I got to make legal disclosures, if I got to group up with mechanics that hate me, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'll read this stuff, man, because it's nonsense. Now, I know y'all don't hate me. I'm giving y'all reason to hate me. I pick at y'all a little bit.
Oh, I take it in stride, brother.
Oh shit!
Oh, and he's going.
He did freeze up again.
I gotta get rid of him. Not get rid of him, but it was just so like.
Hey Jake, are you still here, brother?
I don't want to. I feel bad, but I also
No, his signal dropped. Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, no, okay, he's still here. Hey, do me a favor. In my chat, there is a link, a YouTube link, that's going to take you over to Dylan's channel here, and then he has a link down in his thing that'll bring you into here, and we can talk to you for a little bit.
Yeah,
And
Jake, do it.
Jake is he's on the up and up.
Yeah, Jake, we'll talk about whatever you want.
Yeah.
He'll talk about cars. So,
well, if he's Godzilla swapping what'd you say, a Raider, an S10?
S10.
Yeah, if he's Godzilla swapping an S10, that's at least an hour and a half of content right there. We gotta.
Well, I told him one of these days when he's free, he should come on. Me and him will do a live, and he can just info dump Godzilla stuff on us.
Right.
I think
I don't know anything about him besides.
Yeah, no one
got a cool
knows.
background picture.
I know.
They're $10,000 in a box. That's all I know about him.
I know nothing about him, so it'd be cool to get some more info circulating around.
All I know about those motors is that one that's a core is 4 or 5x what an LS is running.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
I mean that.
Because
Yeah.
they're a new thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're new.
Newer. Alex Jones.
Dude's got energy.
Oh my lord! They just come in and took over.
Be nice. I like Turbo World.
He seemed nice, but like it was just we were all quiet and he kept cutting in and out. It just maybe his internet needs a Freemason. What is a Freemason?
A Freemason is like some old school boys club, and they run the world. I don't know. Like, it's all good, brother. We all got bad internet.
It's all good. You got
it wasn't you. It was just your internet, and it was just interrupting the live, man. It's not your fault. Hopefully Jake's is a little better, so we can.
What's happening?
Hey, he got.
What's up?
He's drinking milk. What a good man.
What's up? All right, so I got to introduce everybody. All right, so this over here is Dylan. He has this Laguna. How fast is your Laguna running again, Dylan?
Well, we've been 970.
Oh, that's a good little.
It's pretty quick, right? And this down here is the Doc. This is Dr. Art. He has that little LS Swap Ranger in the background. So that's why we're friends, because we both have LS Rangers.
Gotcha.
And his is pretty quick too. How fast do you go on the 8th down at No Name, Doc?
No Name, it wasn't. It was like 760s, but I did 7.0 at 102. On a
7.0
foot,
That's
on
pretty
a foot
good.
brake of 9 pounds. On junk.
Yeah.
Do you have a roll cage in that, or is it?
Yeah, I do now. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, it gets a little sketchy on an I-beam suspension with speed tires and no sway bar.
I don't like
a backwards track. So
I can imagine.
Like the I-beam feel. They're very. I don't like.
They're very floaty.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't meant to go that fast. Let's be honest.
No, they weren't. They were not meant to go
Definitely
that
not.
No, probably not meant to go 100 miles an hour with their tires barely trying to hang on.
Right. But you're going fast with it, so that's what's fun. That's the fun part of it.
But yeah, I was just telling them about how you've been fast and you've had a lot of cool stuff, and like you're working on that Godzilla S10.
Yep. Kind of a unique Pandora box type build. So basically, like the story of the truck was, so I got an 82 S10. I got it in college. I street raced it, took it a mile in, drag raced it a little bit. It was fun. I sold the small block out of it, and I was going to build a 383 stroker. I worked at a machine shop, so I did all the machine work on the block. I got an Eagle rotating assembly. I got AFR heads. I had everything ready to go in it, and I got talked out of it because everybody started doing the LS stuff. So I said, all right, well, I bought a Junkyard 6.0. I bought a Junkyard 5.3, and I had a bunch of money left over. I was like, well, I'll just spend a bunch of money on a bunch of different parts. And I was really going back and forth about small tire, big tire. And I said, all right, well, if I'm going this big with it, I might as well go big tire. So I back half the truck. I still had all the LS stuff, and I had everything ready to go. I had the motor plate set up with the LS, and I got the back half done, 4-link done. I was starting to do the roll cage, but I didn't get too far into it. I was kind of mocking everything up, seeing how it was going to fit. And then I started working for a guy named Brian Wolf, who was the boss of global engine engineering for Ford, who basically oversaw the production of, I think, 5 different engine platforms. So it was, I think, the Coyote, the 7.3 Godzilla, which is what's going in the truck, and then a couple different engine combinations. And he was overseas in Germany, and he was the boss for Ford Performance for, I think, 7 years, 7 years, something like that. So I got connected with him, and he offered me a job to work for him, building these new performance Godzilla engines. And I said, all right, absolutely. And in the time, I was still, going to put an LS in the truck. And I said, the whole time, first like 6 months working with him, I was like, I'd never said it out loud, but I was like, man, junk Ford motors, blah, blah, blah. Not this one specifically, but just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I started working for him, and I was like, oh my God, these engines are beefy. These are like some badass engines that are in stock trucks. And, I said, all right, well, it kind of started intriguing me. He casted it out the fishing line, and I grabbed the lure, and he started sucking me in because he kept making snarky comments. He's like, you should put this in your truck instead of an LS. And I was like, yeah, right. Like I'm going to put a Ford motor in a Chevy. And so I said, all right, well, I kind of looked at how much it was going to be to build it, how much the engine management system was going to be, fuel system, not really too far off of what a nicely built LS would be. So basically you can get a Godzilla crate motor for $6,500. Yes, it's a lot of money, but out of the box, you already have 500 horsepower and almost, I think it's like 475 foot-pounds of torque. So you already have a really good base. It's a forged steel crank, cast block, obviously, aluminum heads. It's a pretty good stock unit. There is known issues with the engine already.
Really?
Yeah, sorry, I got my dogs in the
I
background.
believe that because I've seen several people with them,
Mhm.
and they're abusing them and they're breaking, which is normal. That's normal.
So we've made like on chassis dyno, we took my boss's Fox body. So he started build Brian's Fox body. He put a Pro Charger on it. We went down to David Monday's shop down in Knoxville, Tennessee. Put it on chassis dyno or hub dyno, excuse me. And it made 1950 on 26 pounds of boost. And that's stock crank, stock block, stock head. And so that was a God, who was the cam manufacturer? I can't remember what Charlie Westcott, I think was his name. Charlie Westcott cam had Jessel rockers on it. It had the factory timing chain, and it had R heads, but it had titanium valves in it, brass, beryllium seats and guides. It had a lot of good performance parts in it, but most of it was stock, absolutely stock. So when we got back home from the dyno, we're up in Michigan, so it was a 9-hour drive from there back. We were only there for 3 days. We came back. Brian wanted to take the whole engine apart to see, what was going on with that engine. And so on that engine, you have a hydraulically controlled VCT unit. So, and we also had a hydraulic tensioner. So what had happened is we were running like 9,300 RPM, 9,500 RPM on dyno with it. And what happened is the tensioner is like a high polymer plastic. The tensioner actually chewed through the timing chain. So, and it was just like it broke your nail and it's just laying there. That's basically how it was. So as soon as that happened, we kind of knew when you're doing high RPM stuff, like what we do, Brian said, let's start making mechanical timing chain tensioners. So on our race engines that we do specifically, excluding mine, I just went with a hydraulic because I know I'm not going to see very high RPM. We just decided to put, that in there, so that way we don't have to worry about chewing through a tensioner. So it's literally just like a jam bolt, or not a jam bolt, but you drill through the pocket where the piston comes through, and then you put a nut in there with or a bolt, with a jam nut in there to lock it into place, and that's how we establish, And you look to see you move it very minimally. You get it so there's no tension, you lock it in place.
What's the chances of these becoming cheap enough to, as far as like the LS swap? Because I mean, I will never spend $6,500 on this ever.
Okay. So if you go onto any type of automotive auction site and you look up, Amazon has converted their vehicles from the 7.3 Godzilla to electric. So you can get a pull-out package for like $1,500 for this engine, but you have to be at the right time to be able to find it. Also, if the Amazon trucks have them, I don't know the model differences between them, but I know that they have them. You can go and find rear-ended Amazon trucks or trucks that have just been totaled out. There's a guy, David Henderlong, who's a friend of mine, and he bought it was an Amazon van, and I don't think it was very much. I think it was like $2,000 he spent on it. Pulled the motor out, pulled the transmission out, scrapped the body, sold the transmission, and made money off of it, and got a Godzilla in the process. So
it's possible.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time justifying that because my first engine in my car was free, and I got the Suburban with it.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, Dylan, right? You are trying to push. You're trying to push way more power. You're wanting to push more power, right? And we all know stock block LS stuff is only good up to 1,000 horsepower, right?
For 3 passes.
Who said that?
I mean, it could probably take more than 3 passes, but 1,000 horsepower.
Where are you getting this information from? Because I've seen them hold 2,000.
Richard Holtner's made 15 or something.
LS hold that much power.
I mean, you're not.
Now, when you say stock block, are you meaning the block itself, or are you meaning internals, rods, pistons,
the block.
everything?
I mean, just
okay.
The block. Is
So
the train's probably good to whatever, but the block itself is not.
You'll have head gasket issues before you ever have power limiting blocks.
I don't know,
in
man.
the LS. I know for a fact. I mean, I could probably point out 3 or 4 that are making 1,800 on stock blocks.
Yeah, what, an iron block though, right?
I think 1,500 is the max for like an aluminum block, and I'm not even 100% sure on that.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if it was me personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting that much money in a stock block to make that much power. That's just me, though.
But the thing is the cost. You know what I'm saying?
You're still spending a lot of money, though. If the block goes, it's all your shit, all your parts are junk. Like, they're all done.
I can get a whole engine for $300.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like
if
what did you say it made on 30 pounds? You said 26 pounds boost. It made what?
on who?
Jake.
Oh, sorry. I'm messing with this background trying to figure
Oh, no,
out.
you're fine.
You're
fine.
good.
But you said on 26 pounds boost, you made how much it make?
1950.
Dude, that's fucking insane, dude.
At the hub, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
2,400 at the crank, yeah.
Yeah. So the NA motor, it's the same engine without the Pro Charger on it, 12.5 to 1, same internal, same everything that I told you. It made 750. So, I mean, it's 447 cubic inches. So, but it's again a small block.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot of room for improvement, and I'm upset I didn't go to PRI this year. I bought my ticket and everything. I went for the past 2 years in a row. I didn't go this year, but Callie's unveiled the new stroker crank for it. I don't know how much it's going to be, but it puts you up to like a 474, I think. 474, 475, something like that. You're getting more stroke out of it. It's a 422 bore and then a 4-inch stroke. So you have a bigger bore than you do a stroke, but we've already proven with lightweight rotating assembly, you get a lot of RPM out of it. I think it's a really good combination. I shouldn't say combination. I think it's a really good engine package for a new platform. Like anybody could take like a 4-cylinder Ford and throw a shit ton of money at it and go fast. But I think this is a good foundation for somebody who wants to be innovative in a new class with, a new platform. I think it's really good.
I think it's a good middle ground between the dirt cheap LS stuff and then like the 40 grand big blocks.
Yeah.
It seems like it's in a good middle position.
Yeah. So I'll kind of this is one thing when we do our I won't talk about too much because I know you and I want to have that talk about them. But like one thing for anybody that is looking to get I almost said an LS, wants to get a Godzilla. One thing to really look out for when you do look at the miles that you have on it. And unfortunately, there's no way to really tell this specific issue, but hold on, my freaking dogs.
Shut up.
I don't think he said shut up.
This is when I need to do this when my dogs are outside.
Yeah.
So the one thing that you want to look out for when you buy a Godzilla is how many miles are on it. And you also want to check to see how the oil looks. And I know that sounds stupid from an engine that, you're going to buy from somebody, but it is known that the lifters fail on the Godzilla. Kind of like the 3rd gen Hemis, they kind of had the same thing, a bad production casting. These lifters also have the same issue where they start to flake off. And unfortunately, we've lost a few customer engines because of it. So that's one thing to look out for. When you get it, you can get a Johnson tie bar lifters. You don't have to put the factory trays back in like the LS has it. You don't have to put those trays back in. You can literally just put the Johnson tie bar lifters in. Unfortunately, the only thing that creates more work for the person is that you have to get specific push rod lengths because of it. Mm-hmm. So because the rockers are non-adjustable, it's a hydraulic roller camshaft. You have to pick the correct push rod length. And if you guys or anybody goes out and looks, Revin Evan YouTube channel, He does a lot of coverage over the engines that we build and a lot of products that Brian puts out. He does an in-depth video of how to check for push rod length for this specific engine. So if anybody wanted to do it themselves, that would be something to look at. So that way you have a guidance to see how to do that specific. Because it's not hard to do it. It's just tedious and time consuming.
Right.
So.
No, man, like I've been interested in these engines since they came out. I was just waiting for the price to come to something reasonable. Like it's a push rod engine from Ford. It's just, I never thought I'd see the day. You know,
I think the Megazilla price came out, if I remember correctly, it was like 20 grand for like 600 horsepower. And I'm just not knocking Ford Performance at all, but dude, you spend the $6,500, you get the engine. Okay. Now, mind you, it doesn't come with a control system. So you would have to either get a Haltech, or hopefully one day soon, Holley will come out with a system.
Don't they have one?
Well, what trigger wheel? Like what
Isn't it
pattern
the same
does
as
the trigger wheel use?
The Coyote is similar. Well, the LSs are similar. So they've ran, I think it's Mass Motorsports sells. Mass Motorsports sells a kit that takes an LS. Basically, it basically makes like tricks the computer in thinking that it's an LS engine. The only thing you swap is firing order, because an LS is 184366572 and the Godzilla is 15486372. So the firing orders are a little bit different. In the tune or whatever, they flip it and just make it so that way you can run it on that. But I just lost track about what I was saying.
Well, here's a good question for you, because you were kind of touching on this the other night when we were just bullshitting around.
Mm-hmm.
The transmission question. What are you guys using?
Okay. So one of the awesome things about the Godzilla is that it has a modular Ford bell housing. So any transmission, I want to be careful when I say this. Any transmission you put behind like a Coyote or a 4.6 or 5.4, you can put it behind the Godzilla. Performance-wise, when we're talking horsepower, so Brian has in his car a Turbo 400. I think his is a M&M transmission.
Ooh, that's rough.
So he's got a lot of money wrapped in it, but his is a 2-speed 400. He also
$13,000 transmission.
Yeah, a lot of money in it. And then I think he's got a Neil Chance converter too. It's a we took it apart over the summer. It's a billet 2-piece converter. But my plan for mine is same thing. I haven't decided who I want to build it, and that's what Ken, you and I were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, I was telling him to go talk to Cope, because like he's been really good to like the
transmission. There's some really good local guys. Originally, my plan was from ATI was to get their Fuel Comp 400, which was good up to like 1,200 horsepower. And,
at what weight?
3,600, I think.
Okay.
So, and
I always check that.
Right. Yeah, not a lot of people think about that. It's funny because when you go on their website and it'll say, good up to 1,200 horsepower at certain amount of weight. And I think guys don't really think about that. Guys and gals don't really think about that. They're just like, oh, well, I don't think that's going to pertain to me. But
it's
how many
600 at
yeah.
How
many people are going to spend $4,500 on a transmission just to go blow it up and down the road?
Right.
So, but anyways, yeah. So it's a modular Ford bell housing. I don't think I have it in this picture. I got to figure out how to work my finger in this. I have a Turbo 350 put in it right now that I built. That's only good for about 750 horsepower. So I had to cut the bell housing off the stock, off the stock case, and marry the modular Ford bell housing to the case. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but that's definitely one thing you got to look at. If you're going to do a 400 and you buy like one from somebody off Marketplace or wherever, you're gonna have to get a bell housing to be able to adapt it, especially with a GM transmission to a Ford engine.
JW Bell makes them.
Yeah, that's who I got my bell housing from. I had to do. I don't know if I want to say this over the air. I had to do a little massaging on it. Unfortunately, I had to take a grinder. Well, actually, it wasn't really a grinder. I had a lathe or a Bridgeport in my access, and I was able to chuck it up on a Bridgeport and cut the brand new $750 bell housing I had to be able to fit it in
all the time.
So, but yeah, it's you definitely get a lot out of it. Out of the complete engine itself. Like, I think realistically, between the EFI system, between the engine itself, and between a little bit of performance parts, I think you're in it maybe 10 grand, 10 to 12. Which sucks. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of money compared to when you can go to a junkyard and get a $500 LS and slap turbos on it and just keep rinse and recycle and repeat. But
that's the thing I'm waiting on with the whole Ford. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised Mopar hasn't come out with anything, being the conglomerate they are.
Yeah, well, they had that package, didn't they? They had the.
Well, I'm saying like GM. GM has. Sorry, go ahead, Ken.
Oh no, you're good, dude. Like, but yeah, Dodge had a package. It was like the Elephant or the.
Yeah, Elephant. Yeah.
Yeah. They had that package that you could buy crate engines for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking like I want something to replace the LS.
From GM?
No, from any other manufacturer. Okay, so like GM had it in Suburbans, Tahoes, Fans, trucks. Where's that from every other manufacturer? You know what I'm saying?
So you mean like a base engine that can be used performance-wise that was in any common vehicle that they had?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what we need. That's why I don't like any other platform.
Again, dude. I don't know if they'll happen.
Yeah, because even to find a decent Coyote's big money.
Right. Yeah. And for it to gain traction and be as popular as the LS is, it would have to be like the LS, where you could go to a junkyard and grab one.
Right.
I ain't saying it's gotta be.
But it's not going to happen because Dodge is doing away with the V8. They're going to that Hurricane that straight six, and then we're moving into electric and hybrid and.
Well, that's all this.
No, I'm being serious, dude. Like, I don't think we're going to get another V8 that is like putting everything again. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Well, this is my thought to it is, okay, so people had a Suburban, right? They had a 5.3 in it.
Right.
Back in 2004, they just thought it was another engine. So somebody decided to take that engine and do some type of performance modification to it in order to make it bigger. So in a way, in my eyes, I think the golden engine's out there. We just no one's picked it out yet. No one said, oh my God, this, Cobalt SS, 4-cylinder engine could be the baddest 4-cylinder in the world, but nobody's deciding to put any trust in it or any research and development into it because it's a Cobalt SS 4-cylinder. Who really wants to do anything? So I think the engineering aspect, I think there's a lot of perks. Obviously, aftermarket support is the biggest thing. And Godzilla proven, it takes a few years in order to, be able to, the kickstart the wheels in motion in order to do something cool. Like, it's 2023. This engine's been out for almost 4 years. And, now we just got an aftermarket crank. We just got roller rockers.
Isn't it a Coyote?
What, the Godzilla?
What's the difference between the the 7.3s?
Oh, the Godzilla's
pushrod motor, dude.
Yeah, it's a pushrod cam and block engine. It's not
just like an LS.
Yeah, it's I don't like saying it's just like an LS, but it's like the old school V8, like 302, 351, small block Ford basically. The only thing different is this is a deep skirt block. So it's like an old FE style or Y block.
Yep, no 499 horsepower limit.
Do these come in trucks or cars or anything?
Yeah, 2020 Super Duties on up.
Okay.
See, you're learning something, Dylan. You're learning something.
Yeah, but it's also stuff I can't afford.
Well, if you go on an auction site and find a wrecked Amazon
Hey,
truck,
you just said you spent $1,600 on that van. That
And
would have bought you a wrecked Amazon van.
yep, and you could have chopped it all out, made it like a wagon or something, and did something crazy with it. But
then I got to put all that money into the engine.
you don't have to. You just buy a
That was the
controller.
question I was going to ask. Rotating assembly, like the crank's probably good for it, but what about the rods and pistons? Like, what kind of upper horsepower limit are you guys seeing?
So I think we did one that was stock rod and pistons and rods, and we put a Pro Charger on it. And I think we didn't really want to turn it up any further than like 600, 700 horsepower. One, I don't even think we touched the stock rings. We just left them the way that they were. They were gaps, from the factory, however they were.
Okay.
And they're I can't remember the name of it. It's like a powder. They're like powdered rods, cracked powdered rods. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
what LS rods are.
Yeah. It's like the same thing. The third gen Hemis have it too. But yeah, so made power with that. I'm trying to think of some other some cool combinations we had. We had the Wiseco. We had the one customer engine, Wiseco pistons. It had the K1 rods. Or no, excuse me. That had the Cali rods. Wiseco pistons, I think it was 10.5 to 1 compression. With a Pro Charger, made 1,200 horsepower, pump gas. Pretty awesome setup. God, dude, we've just done so many. We've done the Superchargers. We've done the Pro Chargers. One of the shop cars, Mustang SN95. It was a Cobra, twin turbo. We didn't get the horsepower on twin turbo, but I think the motor made itself like 690, something like that.
So I mean, I guess like they're still too expensive to kind of push them to see what the stock stuff will do, right? Like it's kind of like you don't want to like push them because you don't want it to break, right?
Well, that's one of the perks of being where I'm at. We don't want them to break, but we want to push them and we want them to sweat is what we want to do.
So basically, a stock rod and piston motor, you can get 700 out of them. Is that what I'm?
So Merkel Racing Engines, I believe they're in New Jersey. One of my friends, Anastasio, works there, and they've made 2,000 with it until it broke. So it'll make the power, but for how long? And out of respect to the LS guys, how long is that stock LS going to work before that blows up at 2,000 horsepower?
Yeah.
So I think you pick your battles really when it comes to that.
So like 800, 900 would probably be, probably okay for a while.
I think if you're going to do it, this is just my personal opinion. If you're going to do it right. Especially when it comes to you're going to try to go 950s with it in the quarter mile. If you're going to try to make it last 100,000 miles, do it right the first time. And the only reason why I say that is not only you're saving the engine, but you're saving yourself. Imagine you're going down the track and you decide to put 30 pounds of boost in an LS for a third pass that has stock rods, stock pistons, and the bottom of that motor lets go, it hits your back tires, and you do 7 360s and hit a wall.
I won't tell you what we did at No Name then, because
well, hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But my biggest thing, and Ken knows this because he's seen my pictures of my truck. I'm all about safety. I overbuilt my truck. Like it's an 850 cert cage, but I put X bars in it. I braced the hell out of it. I made it basically ready to do a 750 if I ever wanted to. Just because if I go into the wall, I want my wife to know that I have a high chance of making it home that night, or that all my friends at the starting line know I'm good. So it's kind of like if you're going to spend your money, spend it in the right places. My dad always taught me that. He said,
What-
you know,
How do the engines like weight?
so elaborate on that question. What do you mean?
So like the car that's behind my head,
Mm-hmm.
it's 4,000 pounds.
Okay.
It went 970s with a stock bottom end LS
Mm-hmm.
with no gap, none of that BS,
Mm-hmm.
with a tiny turbo.
Well, I'll tell you this: it makes 500 horsepower in a 2020 Super Duty that probably weighs a little bit more than that. And I'm sure you slap a turbo on it with out capping the rings. I'm sure it'll probably go 9. What would you say that went 970s?
970s.
It'll probably go 940s. In my personal opinion, from what I've seen, I think it would probably go pretty fast. But mind you, is that a 5.3 or a 6.0?
It's a 5.3.
So it's a 325 board, 323 board. Okay. So this is a 422, 445 cubic inch. So you obviously have a displacement difference.
Right.
Yeah, it's like almost 100.
120.
Yeah, it's like 120 cubic.
Imagine my engine like that. Oh my god, I would kill.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but again, my dad always told me this. For every second you want to go faster, bust out 10 grand. You know, that's just rule of thumb. So, basing off of it, like I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. It's called the Wallace Racing Calculator.
Yep.
I have it pulled up right now.
Okay, there you go. So it's estimated that my engine with me in the truck, which the goal is 2650, with my 32-inch tall tire, with my 456 gear in the back, Wallace predicts that it's going to go 898 at 152 mile an hour. So I don't know if I believe it. You know, mathematically it's correct, but is it actually going to go that fast? I don't know.
How fast you say it's going to go?
898 at 152.
898. That's 9 seconds, right? Like,
yeah. But that's
right. Yeah.
That's where we're thinking, because the motor's not on dyno yet. It should be on within the next 2 weeks. It's already all built, ready to go, but we think it's going to make between 720 to 750, and that's 12.2 to 1 compression. I mean,
No
pretty
power
much all.
adder?
No NA. So
we need to get you to No Names when this truck is done.
Right.
I would love to go. I know I got so freaking busy, and then as you guys, those of you that haven't seen it, this truck right here, it doesn't look anything like I'm on my wife's computer. This is like an old picture. This was November of last year, so it's got a full cage in it. The floors are cut out.
Making progress. He really is.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, you get down there and give some of these other guys, because like we do a 10.5 all out, like an all out class.
Yeah.
And there's only like 3 guys that are fast down there. So it'd be nice to give them some fucking competition.
I would throw small tires under it, just run it and see how it does. It may not be a little stable up top, but I would still have fun with it.
Well, this year nobody was stable anywhere.
Where
Yeah,
is this in Missouri? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Missouri. Yeah.
How far away is that?
How many hours? It's 499 miles from my house. So you're like 2 hours up in Michigan. So another 2 hours on top of that. So
Yeah, probably about 5-6 hours. Well, maybe further, because Indy's about 5 hours from me. So
yeah, Indy's about 2 hours from me. So 2.5.
okay. Have you made any progress on that 4-wheel drive S10 you were doing?
Okay, so I've been trying to wrap up other projects, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the S10, I got all the parts. I got all the stuff to put together.
Yeah.
I just got to actually start putting it together.
Right.
So it takes time, man. You know better than anybody. So.
Oh yeah. What about that Dart that you were working
So
on.
the dart was I tried getting the 273 in it running just for shits and giggles.
Mhm.
I wanted to like get it running and put it around and maybe get plates on it and shit.
Yeah.
And I got spark and I put a new carburetor on it and I was getting it to putt and make noise. And then
Mhm.
out of nowhere it just seized up on me.
Oh man.
Tighter than nun's ass, dude. I can't get it to move. I don't know if there was like a rat's nest on top somewhere and it got sucked down or if it was, but if something was in there somewhere and it just seized up on me. So
Yeah.
I kind of gave up on it for a while.
Mm. I just bought a new project because I don't have enough as it is already between customer cars and my
We
own.
all have that problem.
Yeah. My uncle, he's got an old farm and he runs like a drainage tile business out of there. So he had it's like a late 60s, early 70s F600 dump truck basically.
Yeah, big truck.
So I bought that from him and it doesn't have a bed on it. So I'm going to build a ramp truck out of it. And then so that way I can pull my truck up on the back of it. And I want it to be powered by a Godzilla. So that's the plan.
Yeah, and if you break at the track, you can just
just swap motors.
yeah.
Rob it off of there. I don't care about getting home. I just want to go down the track and win this round.
That's right.
But yeah, so that was that plan. I wanted to do a tilt deck on it, but after looking at the geometry and the physics of it, I don't think a tilt deck would work. I don't know the exact measurement from where the rear end is compared to, I don't know what the wheelbase is, but I know for a ramp truck, it has to be a little bit short because the angle of where the truck's got to ride up onto, or truck or car, it really doesn't matter.
So when you go to buy your ramps, Vevor, VEVOR,
Beaver, okay,
has really good prices on aluminum ramps.
Okay.
I would do yourself a favor and your back a favor and buy aluminum ramps. I did, and I've not used them on my ramp truck, but we've had them for car trailers, and oh my god, it's so nice.
Really? Okay.
But you can get I think they even make 8-footers or 9-footers or something. They make some really long ones.
Okay, gotcha. No, that's a good idea. Because I was gonna do steel pull-out ramps. Like, I've been wanting to get a regular car trailer for a long time, and just haven't really pulled the trigger because I'm like, I really want to enclosed, but I don't want to spend enclosed money. You
don't have to if you buy used.
Yeah, that is true. Well, even used is freaking expensive by us.
I bought a recovery that was pretty. When I went and looked at it, it pretty much looked like a dope growing business.
Oh,
on wheels. So they definitely ran from the cops. I had to put axles under it, but that was it.
Okay.
And I got a 24-footer, extra height, so I think it's a foot taller than the normal.
Okay.
It's got the extended tongue, and it's got brand new Dexter axles under it now. Guess what I would have in it?
Man, by the sound of it, probably 6.
Not even close.
What?
3.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, that would be worth it, even the labor and everything included.
Right.
Man.
You just got it. You have to put in the work. It was a pain in the ass to get on the trailer.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the ass to put the axles under it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to do that labor, go buy a new one.
Right.
But if you're a glutton for punishment, it's totally worth it money-wise.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't mind the labor. I got enough projects as it is, but I mean, what's one more? That's the famous thing famous saying for being guys like us. What's one more thing to do?
Right.
I'm so far behind I can run myself over.
Yeah, I agree with that. I got a freaking customer car in the garage that I think I've had it for about a month now. And I'm doing twin turbos on that, and I get home from work. What time is it? It's 9:30, just about. And I get home from work, and I'm like, man, I just want to sit it and chill out. I don't want to go out in the garage and work. I'll leave that for a weekend project.
So, where are you at then?
So I'm in Monroe, Michigan. I'm like 20 minutes south of Detroit.
Okay.
So I'm literally ping pong right in between Toledo and Detroit. I'm right in the middle.
Okay, I got you.
So
I'm in Indiana. I was. You
Where
were talking
you
about
at?
going to Milan,
Yeah, where are you at from Indiana?
Rising Sun. I'm all the way by the Ohio River.
So you're south, ain't you?
Yeah. Like,
Okay. I got one of my best friends. I used to go to UNOH.
Okay.
One of my best friends, he lives in Ferdinand, Indiana, by Jasper, kind of.
Okay. Yeah, I know where it's at.
Yeah. So he lives there, and a bunch of his buddies and stuff I became friends with over time. But
Yeah, Indiana's got a lot of racing history here.
yeah. I've always wanted to go to, Indy the track and go there, but I've only been down there for PRI. I haven't been down there for anything else. But
Uh, so my local track is in Ohio.
mhm.
I would choose to go to that track, which is it's an NHRA track, but it's not as nice as Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Only because of the tech is so strict at Indy, they would
Oh,
probably take me out
I'm
over stupid stuff.
yeah.
Not like
What track do you normally go to?
Edgewater Sports Park. It's in Cleves, Ohio.
Okay. I don't think I've ever I don't think I've ever heard of it. But is it quarter mile or eighth mile?
It's quarter mile.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm a quarter mile guy myself.
Oh, there's nothing better. If you run, I hate running eighth mile.
I think it's I mean I understand eighth mile, you ain't tearing up your shit, as much. But I don't know, I just like the thrill
Says
of
who?
yeah, that is
If you're
true.
balls to the wall from start to the eighth, you're still
Mhm.
what? I don't even know how many. I can't.
I never ran an 8th mile until I moved down here to Tennessee. Then that's all we have is 8th mile.
Is it really that easier on motors if you're balls to the wall?
Yeah, but at one point, your motor's already like hauling, it's working hard, off the line. How much more are you really going to give it when you're doing eighth mile? I mean, I know gearing's going to be different, but
All
still,
I know is when I have to run eighth mile for bracket stuff, I hate it. There's no better feeling than wide open throttle all the way to the quarter, and you're just neck to neck with a car. There's no better feeling in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. We had, so in high school, what kind of got, I mean, I was in drag racing when I was a kid. My mom used to take me all the time to the drag strip and stuff like that and local circle tracks and stuff like that. So I always went out there. But like in high school, we had auto shop. So coincidentally, I ended up being the auto shop teacher there for a few years. But in high school, we had a drag team, and we had a 71 Demon with a 360. I think it was board 30 over. And I ended up getting the opportunity to race it and run it. And I went 11:58 at 118, second gear, no burnout. And that car is really what like got me even more into drag racing. Like really, I got to help build this car and watch it progress and go through. In high school, we also got the opportunity to work on a gentleman's car who lives local, and he had a 64 Pontiac Tempest with a GTO front clip. So everyone thought it was a GTO. It had an old, wore out 480 cubic inch traditional Pontiac motor in it. It was, bad. Motor was junk. He came to Rob Epler, who was the teacher, who was my teacher in high school, and said, I heard you build race cars. I want you to fix this car. Basically gave the car to us and said, you do what you need to do to fix it. So the car actually was a famous car from Pontiac Magazine. It was the old Pontiac lady. It was her car. So he ended up buying it down at Pontiac Nationals in, I think it was Norwalk. If not, it was in Indiana somewhere. Maybe it was Indy. I can't remember. But he bought the car. We got it, stripped it down, put a 580 cubic inch Pontiac in it. NA, no nitrous, no nothing. ATI Turbo 400. I think it was a 433 rear gear. or it might have been a 456. I can't remember. It was a kind of a small tire though. I think it was a 31 by 12 and a half. And so eventually, you know, graduated or whatever. I stuck around. I always pitted for the car. And one day he was like, all right, get in the seat. And I'm like, what do you mean get in the seat? He's like, yeah, go ahead. You know, you earned it. I was like, all right, you know, and I was scared because this car is fast and it is rowdy and I have never driven it, you know, at the drag strip before. So I didn't know what I was going to do. First pass, I went 917 at 148 miles an hour.
That'll wake you up.
Yeah. And it was one of the like most, I think I was crying on the return road because it was one of the most like the greatest feeling ever, knowing like you put your heart and soul into this car. You worked, you know, super hard. And there was a lot of hands in it too. It wasn't just me. But I know that I worked really hard on it to be able to have a guy that trusted you enough to be able to go down the drag strip with his $100,000 race car that he just built. You know, it was probably like I said, like a dream come true. It was really cool. But that's when I had already had the fire lit inside of me beforehand, but that was just like icing on the cake right then and there. But
what year do you think's in this car behind me?
373. What do you got in it?
411s.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so close. So what is that? I can't tell from the taillights. What is that?
It's a 75 Laguna.
What is that?
Chevy Laguna.
Oh, okay.
Like NASCAR?
Okay. I think I've heard, to be honest with you, I thought I've heard of it before, but I didn't know that's what it was. So it's must not be a very common car then, huh?
Absolutely not.
How's finding parts for it? Does Rock Auto provide
What
you
parts?
with a lot of? What part? Yeah, there you go. You just weld stuff back together.
They sell quarter panels. I did find out that they're starting to make floor pans. Just this year.
Okay.
And they don't make fenders. They don't make hoods. They don't make noses. They don't make bumpers. None of the interior parts are redone except the seats. So pretty much nothing.
And it does wheelies.
It does do wheelies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know if I've mentioned it. What do you think it weighs?
Wasn't it like what'd you say, 3,400?
In this picture, it's 4,200 pounds.
42. Okay.
Normally, it's 4,000.
So, have you decided to like skin anything like the doors or?
It's got power windows.
I keep telling him cut the crash bars out of the doors.
Hey, it's a
but
street
no.
car.
It's a
You
street
don't need
car.
you don't need the lightweight stuff for a street car.
See, this is what my customer said too. He's like, I want a street car. I want a street car. And then we put twin turbos on it, and then we're putting a roll cage in it, and then we're putting freaking parachute on the back. It evolves after a certain amount of time.
This car is going to have power windows. It could have power locks. I just don't need them.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the back seat in it right now. I'm going to have a passenger seat in it. It's going to have the dash. It's going to be a street car.
Dylan, I'm not trying to be like that guy here, but you just told
But you
me.
are.
Yeah, but I am. You just told me how I should put 706 heads on my 401 stroker engine because everything should have a purpose. And if I'm building a street, but here you are refusing to race car your race car, and it's driving me fucking nuts.
Because it goes fast without needing to be the race car stuff.
That doesn't matter. It's a race car, so freaking race car it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. This thing is going to be street too, so I can't say much. I really wanted to stay directly drag strip with it, but my dad's best friend, when I was growing. I got stories for days, so I'm sorry if I'm like freaking boring you guys to death. So my dad's best friend, they kind of grew up and kind of separated. So when I was growing up, my dad was building his 66 Cornet, which I'm still looking for to this day, and I can't find it anywhere. It was a tube chassis Coronet that he was building, had a 340 in it. And Tommy, his best friend, was building a 71 Duster. Side by side, I have pictures of it, of both those cars right next to each other. I ended up reconnecting with Tommy last year, and I haven't seen him since I was like 7 years old, and I'm 25 now. Reconnected with him, and the car is all finished, and it looks like an absolute monster. And I will still say it to this day, it is probably one of the sexiest Mopars I've ever seen in my life. It is gloss black, lowered. It's got 32 by 14s in the back. And I think they might be even a little bigger. I think they're wider than that. They might be 18 wides. Got a 440 in it. Street car, and it goes 960s. Drives it down the street. Full cage, 727 trans. I think it's a 440 block. I think it's actually like a 512 or something like that. But he drives it to the cruises, carbureted, no EFI. He takes it up to Woodward. Up by us, we have local cruises, the Telegraph Cruise, and some other ones. He'll drive it up there, no problem. It's just, but seeing that car completed as an adult is just absolutely insane. And you don't get to see, I have to say this carefully. You don't get to see too many cars from the, stripped down to bare sheet metal to all the way completely finished driving on the road and having fun with it.
Right.
True.
Let alone doing 960s. So.
Well, I'm all about driving them. Like, I don't like these trailer queens or these all-out race cars that never get really driven. I like driving mine around. So.
Ken, that's what you're telling me to do.
Well,
I don't mind the trailer queen, but
you're I don't know, man. Like, you're talking about like everything needs a purpose. Well, this is a purpose race car.
It's a purpose fun haver. And then I get to watch people's draws drop when they get beat by a full interior 4,000 pound car.
So here's a question for you, Jeff. Why don't you do like a 4L80, like a Jake's 4L80, so you can like drag and drive the truck and shit like that? Have an overdrive gear.
I think he's froze.
Oh, I probably didn't hear you, Ken.
Am I back? Did I go away?
No, you're here.
Okay. I was gonna say. No, I said, why don't you do a 4L80 in your truck so you have an overdrive, drag and drive it?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh. Okay. All right. Never mind. So I thought about doing a 4L80, but I don't really want to do like a have a. Well, no, we talked about it yesterday, didn't we? That guy made a full manual valve body for it. Was it the 4L80 or was that a different trans?
It was like a 4R100, some Ford transmission. Doc, you might know. What's the transmission that they're using in Casper, Andy's truck? You know what that is?
Well, Andy was using a C4, and he keeps burning them up.
That's what it was.
He keeps burning them up, right?
So Cope was building him that 4R100 for it.
4R100.
Oh, now he cuts out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cope was building him a 4R100, so he could have basically the transmission would last because he would just keep nuking C4s, and they didn't want to put a C6 in it because it would, you'd never have to change it,
I just don't want to have to run a controller to
just for your transmission. Yeah.
That's fair.
Not only that, those transmissions are freaking heavy. They're really heavy.
They are.
So I guess in a perfect world, because my buddy, did you guys watch the Hot Rod Drag Week at all? Like, did you guys follow it closely?
A little bit, yeah.
So my buddy has a Ford Escape that he took in there and ended up going, I think, 13s with it. Completely gutted it all out or whatever. But he's trying to get me into doing a drag and drive event, which I would love to do. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if I was to do one, I'd pull out the 400 and or either two things. One, I'd pull out the 400 and put in a 400 with the Gear Vendors Overdrive. I did that in a Chevelle, and I really liked the kit that they provided. It was a very stout kit. Or I would do the 4L80 with the bell housing, and then I'd have to get a controller or something like that. So I would do it in a drag and drive event, but definitely not like just to drive it around the street and go drag racing. I'd rather just put a 400.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. That's the right answer, I guess. Like, if you were gonna do a drag and drive event, you just that's fair.
I think it's the norm too now. Other than an add-on overdrive, or if you have a Liberty, other than that, I think 4L80 is really like the norm. It's like putting a small block Chevy in everything, and now putting an LS and everything. It's just you got to do it.
Right. Yeah.
But
I mean, you could just not do the turbo 400 and do like a Lenko,
I was on Marketplace. I think it was this morning, and I seen there was a Liberty 5-speed for sale for like $13,000. Basically, a Lenko, just
pocket change, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh shit. But no, man, I can't wait till the damn thing's done. Like, I've been waiting. Every time I see you post an update, I'm like, this motherfucker still ain't done.
The sooner I get this customer car done, the sooner I could start finishing this thing. It's really now it's all the tedious work. The chassis is done, the roll cage is done. Now it's just body work, fuel lines, brake lines, and I'm probably, to be honest with you, the first. When hopefully I have it ready by summer this upcoming year, spring or summer. I'm just gonna run it without a front end. I'm just gonna leave it all open.
Yeah.
And it's going to be slow because aerodynamics, but I know I don't want to put steel fenders on it. I'd rather do fiberglass front clip, but I don't have that kind of money. Yeah.
I love steel fenders, man.
If you keep an eye on Marketplace, dude, fiberglass front clips come up every now and again for.
I know, but I'm anal. I don't want you see a lot of Vinos front S10 clips, and I don't want the Vinos. I just want the flat. I care about aerodynamics, but I don't care that much,
Yeah, I still want it to look like an S10 classic.
Right. Exactly. And like all my buddies always tag me. There's this guy that is always selling doors, like fiberglass doors, and they're like $450 for a set. And I'm like, yeah, but they don't have crank windows, and they don't have, I have 2 sets of doors sitting out back for my truck. I have a crank set, and I also have a power window set, and I just want to
keep for life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really care. I mean, I say this because I want to save weight, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm going to be a queen or a king, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to be okay with my power windows, even if it adds 15 pounds total,
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, fenders and hood is a hell of a lot more than the doors anyway, so.
Yeah, a whole front clip from Racer's Edge, I think, is like $1,500. I think that's with a removable hood. And then the doors are, I think the doors are like $300 to $400 a piece for fiberglass. Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, just throw the stock. I'll skin the stock ones up. I'll put some aluminum bracing in there somewhere. But
yeah,
I'm not a big fiberglass guy.
I'm not either. Give me a freaking welder and some roll cage or whatever, and I'll do it. I don't care.
Dude, but have you seen that wide body S10 floating around the S10 groups the last couple of weeks?
No, I don't believe that.
Dude, if I come across it, I'll share it to you, dude. Somebody did a wide body on an S10, and it looks good, man.
I'd love to see it because I think
they did it old school way too. They didn't make a kit for it. They folded all the metal out, and added pieces back in.
Right.
And it looks real good.
Yeah, tag me in it if you see it again, because I'd like to see it. That'd be pretty sweet.
Well, fellas, if I don't,
yeah, I'm gonna tap here too, so don't feel bad.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna wake up in the morning and go to work.
It's 10 o'clock. I gotta be to work tomorrow too, so I feel you.
Well, you gentlemen have a wonderful night.
You too.
All right, and Ken, send me your You got Facebook?
Yeah, dude, I'm on. We're on Facebook.
Well, Well, no, I know we are. What I forget your name. I'm horrible with names. What is your name?
Dylan.
Dylan. Send me Dylan's profile so I have it, and I'll add you on Facebook so that way I could see all your stuff. You can see all mine.
Sure.
Awesome. I can do that. Dylan, wait, Dylan, do you have Facebook?
Yeah.
Why did your woman send me? I thought you were sending me one.
What? Sending you what?
Your woman sent me a friend request. I thought that was you.
Oh no, that's for. Remember that I was gonna send you that money.
Yeah. See where I'm getting at here? Like it's not you. I thought you guys like had a joint account.
No.
Okay, well then, yeah, he'll have to add me because this fucker hasn't done it yet, and then I'll, yeah, okay.
Sounds good at whatever way. It don't matter.
Right.
Hey, thanks for coming in, man. Like,
Yeah.
like
It's fun.
I was telling him, like this, like you guys should talk. There's a lot of knowledge from this guy.
From who?
From
I-
you.
Oh, for me? No. I'm just
No, see, look how humble. Look at this guy.
I'm just a nerd. I don't know. I like going fast. I like race cars. That's pretty much it.
All right, well, gentlemen, I am out of here too, so I'll talk to you all later.
Absolutely. We'll get together soon and talk about whenever. I think next Monday. I'll get some stuff. There's some slides I want to get together for you, so I can throw them up there just to talk about the Godzilla stuff.
But yeah,
So.
this Monday works, and if not this Monday, next Monday. Like no rush, no hurry.
Okay.
So,
No, sounds
All right,
good.
you guys have a
All
good
right.
night.
See you later.
See you guys.
Later.